Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ, in Hebrew, is Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The Immaculate Conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the Son of God. To you was kinda odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High. It's all about Yahweh Shai. It's all about the Most High.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ.
Shalom, Israel,
Shalom!
and welcome to the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. My name is Shathak, and to my immediate left is Priest Quatazap. We are located at 8524 South Braeswood Boulevard. That's Houston, Texas, 77071. We also have classes in San Antonio. They're located at 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. If you're in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area, we also have classes there at 7710 Manuel Boulevard, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87110. You can also watch previously recorded classes, kids classes at ISBHPK Kids on YouTube. Lots of good classes, fun, educational, keep the kids interested. We also have a cable show that's shot live every Saturday, and that's at 8 p.m. At Comcast local channel number 17. And you can stream that live online at hmstv.org. We also have the blog talk with the brother Mashaba. He's doing that blog talk. Real good, hearty, educational radio show. You can find that at blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba. And that's Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9:30. If you need to contact a priest, text only during class. You can reach Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737. You can reach Priest Quatazap at 303-557-8979. And please text only during class. If you want to email your questions in or comments or concerns, you can reach us at isbhpk@isbhpk.org. Also, Israelware is accepting orders. You can get a custom headband, fringe garment, armbands, the whole nine, tunic. They'll have you looking real sharp, real crisp and clean, just like we used to back in the ancient days, but with a modern flair. You can also, coming up is the Feast of First Fruits, which will be June 7th. There will be no class, and that's on a Friday.
That's this Friday.
There will be no class because we'll be celebrating the Feast of First Fruits here at our school, which is at 8524 South Braeswood. So if you're in the Houston area, please feel free to come on by, join us, congregate, have some laughs, share some good food, eat some good food. When we get together on these feast days, it's always good to kick back and relax with brothers and sisters. All right. Also, if you want to make any donations or alms or offerings, we have the Wells Fargo account. That number is 1025-129896. And All contributions are greatly appreciated, and it all goes to the edification and the educational process of our people. Okay. Also, if you want to mail something in, you can mail it to any one of the schools. You can mail it here, 8524 South Bracewood, or you can mail it to Albuquerque, New Mexico, which is the 7710 Manuel Boulevard, or the school in San Antonio, Texas. And if there's anything else, that's it.
Yeah, if y'all got questions, just don't hold them, but get your questions ready. We're gonna go over real quick. We're just gonna read a little bit about the Feast of First Fruits. That way everybody has an idea of what it is that we're celebrating on Friday. All right, so I feel like can y'all, which one? This one? This one.
Yeah, that one.
Turn me up in the headphones. So we're gonna go over, read a little bit about the Feast of First Fruits. It's not a lot. And we went over this, I believe we read over this during the Sabbath reading, maybe 3 Sabbaths ago. Yeah, we did. So go to Deuteronomy. Actually, go to the Zondervan Bible Pictorial Bible Dictionary, page 220, under feast days. Page 220. So we're gonna go to the Zondervan. Hold it up for them so they can see it. Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary. We're going under feast days, and we're gonna look up feast of, I believe it says Pentecost in there.
You said page 220.
Yeah, it should be page 220. 280.
280.
280. Just a little reading over the Feast of, and remember this feast, it had a few different names. It was the Feast of Pentecost, it was the Feast of First Fruits, or it was also known as the Feast of Weeks. The Feast of Weeks because you counted 7 weeks from the Passover. All right, or 49 days. 7 times 7 is 49, right? Time. 49 days from the Passover until this next feast. And what you would do is you would bring your first fruits of your harvest. That's why it's also known as the Feast of First Fruits. You would bring the first fruits, and those would be presented as an offering to the Most High. Where you at in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, sir?
So in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, page 280, and it's under feast. It'd be the third feast under the heading of feast.
Mm-hmm.
The Feast of Pentecost. Other names for this are the Feast of Weeks.
Feast of Weeks. Go ahead, because of the 7 weeks leading up. Go ahead.
The Day of First Fruits.
Right, because you would bring those first fruits and present them. Go ahead.
The Day of the Feast of Harvest.
Right, the Feast of Harvest, because you were bringing your harvest. So that's another name. You have 4 names for it. In the New Testament, they call it Pentecost. Go ahead.
It was celebrated on the 6th day of the month of Sylvan, or June, 7 weeks after the offering of the wave sheaf. After the Passover. The name Pentecost meaning 50th.
Right. So Pentecost, or Penta, means 5. So Penta is the 50th day. So you number the 49 days, and on the 50th day you would celebrate. So that's why I had all these different names: Pentecost, Feast of Weeks, Feast of First Fruits, Feast of Harvest. Right? That's 4. I mean, I do know weird hand signs. Y'all might. Yeah, but that's 4 different names for this feast. So if you hear somebody say, "Hey, we're celebrating Feast of Weeks, Pentecost, Harvest, Feast of First Fruits," you know it's all the same feast. Just it went by different names. Go ahead.
Originated from the fact that there was an interval of 50 days between the two.
Right, so there was 50-day interval between Passover and this next feast. So you would number the 49 days plus 1. Or 7 weeks plus a day. 7 weeks, 7 times 7 is 49. Plus the 1 day equals the 50. That's where you get your Pentecost from. That name Pentecost. Go ahead.
The feast lasts a single day.
Right. So it's a 1 day feast. Unlike some of our other feasts. Just like Passover. Passover is a 1 day feast also. But then we have the Feast of Unleavened Bread, which is the 7 days. We have Feast of Tabernacles, which is 7 days. But Pentecost was 1 day. Feast of, what else you got? Hanukkah, that was 8 days, right?
Blowing of the trumpets.
Feast of the blowing of the trumpets, that was what?
It's 7 days.
That's 7 days. So a lot of our feasts, I mean, you gotta see it, man. Our feasts blow Babylon's feast out the water. We got 7-8 day feasts, man. They got one raggedy day. And you pay in your whole, you give up paycheck after paycheck for one Christmas. Just for your kids to be happy for 5 minutes. Where we have feasts for days, man. Go ahead.
The feast lasted a single day and marked the completion of the wheat harvest.
Right, so it was a completion of the wheat harvest. Go ahead.
The characteristical ritual of this feast was the offering and waving of 2 loaves of leavened bread.
Go ahead.
And made from the ripe grain which had just been harvested. This was done by the priest in the name of the congregation. In addition to these wave offerings, the people were rejoined to give the Lord an offering of the first fruits.
Right, so the people, so in addition to this wave offering of these loaves, the people brought their offering of their first fruits. The Most High wanted always the first of your flock, a kid of the first year, a lamb of the first year. He wanted the best. Those first fruits represented that best flock. Go ahead.
Of their produce. The amount of the offering was not designated. That's it.
Right, is that it?
That's it.
Right. Let's go to Deuteronomy. Somebody go to Deuteronomy 16 and verse 9.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 9. 7 weeks shalt thou number unto thee. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put the sickle to the corn.
Right, so you number in the 7 weeks from the day, from basically the last day of Feast of Unleavened Bread. You number 7 weeks, 49 days. Go ahead.
Verse 10. And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Lord thy power with a tribute of a free will offering.
Yeah, see, you were supposed to come with that free will offering. Now, we know brothers and sisters ain't out there farming, right? You ain't got no wheat harvest, you ain't got no corn, you don't got no lambs. So obviously, what is it that we're always supposed to be offering up to the Most High?
Our bodies.
Right, ourselves, our bodies, and just not our bodies, but our minds. Because you could be here in body and spirit down by the beach. And that'd be the case with a lot of y'all. You're here in body, but your spirit is so out of your body. It's like you're having an outer body experience. You looking down at yourself like, well, I'm here. But your whole spirit floated away to the moon somewhere. It floated back to bed. It floated back home where you could be comfortable. We got to present our bodies and our minds as a living sacrifice. Holy, pure, and acceptable, which is our reasonable service. Romans 12 and 1. Right? One of our favorite, most used and pulled scripture. Go ahead.
Con. According as the Lord thy power hath blessed thee.
While what? He said according what?
Oh, according as the Lord thy power hath blessed thee.
Right, so so you gave your offering according to what the Most High blessed you with for your harvest. So if the Most High blessed you with an abundance, you wouldn't come with like two little bales of hay. Like, yeah, that's all I got. No, you would give according to your blessing. So you give according to the much that you have, or you give according to the little bit that you have. Right? Hold where you at. Go to see, and this is the thing where even the feast days, man. If you look at it, not just on a carnal, oh, we're about to just get together and eat and drink and party, but if you look at it on a spiritual level, remember the scripture said the law was spiritual, but we are carnal, sold into sin. Go to 1 Corinthians.
So,
Second Corinthians. What's that?
I was gonna ask, would that be something like in accordance like with tithes as well?
What do you mean?
Could you look at like how you went like for tithes? You know, like we give a portion of what we earn.
It's 10%.
Yeah, that portion of what we earn. Would that be sort of the same thing as far as like giving a portion, like giving
Well, tithes was
according to their number?
Yeah, tithes was 10% of what you earn.
Right.
Now this, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, is it like
well, it doesn't give you a percent on here.
Right.
But it's just saying give according. Watch. Go to Corinthians, and I'll show you here in Tobit. Go to Tobit. Just on his question, go to Tobit chapter 4 and verse 7. Somebody get that. And then Lamar, somebody else get 2 Corinthians 11. 2 Corinthians chapter 8 and verse 11. Read that, Jermaine. Tobit 4 and verse 7.
Tobit 4 verse 7.
Go ahead.
Give alms of thy substance.
It says do what?
Give alms of thy substance.
Right, so everyone is supposed to be giving alms of their substance. Now the scriptures are going to delegate to us how to do that. Go ahead.
And when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious.
Yeah, when you give, you can't come back like, man, I should have kept that for myself. Or man, I needed that. Man, I shouldn't have gave that. Why'd I do that? You know that old covetous spirit. You know, you give your shirt to your little brother and it looks better on him.
Right.
And you're like, damn, man, I should have kept that. Or you give something to somebody and they fix it up because you didn't have the time. Like I got rid of my car yesterday. I finally got rid of my car, man, after a long time. And I'm like, I bet not see nobody roll down the street with this car fixed up, right? Ain't nobody gonna fix it up. They gonna scrap it, junk it, recycle it. But that's what it's going into. Don't give something and then wish that you had it back. Be envious because you gave it. You got to give out of that free will, out of that free heart. Just like yourself. When you give yourself, you can't sit back and be like, man, I wish I never learned the truth. What the hell are you talking about? You wish you never learned the truth and got the knowledge? Man, y'all ruined my life. I'm better off somewhere else. No, you're not. So you're not supposed to give grudgingly. Go ahead.
Let not thine eye be envious. Neither turn thy face from any poor.
Read. So you see that? Neither turn your face from any poor. Go ahead.
And the face of the Most High shall not be turned away from thee.
Right. Read on.
If thou hast abundance.
So if thou hast an abundance, read.
Give alms accordingly.
Right. So you give alms according to your abundance. You give according to what you know you're gonna need. So if I went out and I gathered 10 ears of corn, and I know my family only uses 6, give away those other 4. Because now I have an abundance of 4. So you give accordingly to what you know what you can live off of. Go ahead.
If thou have but a little.
But if you have a little, well, if I got a little, man, I can't give none because I only got a little. Not read.
Be not afraid to give according to that little.
Yeah, don't be afraid. You know what the scriptures have to say? Don't be afraid. Because people look at the little bit that they have and they're like, well, how am I going to survive?
I used to do that.
How am I going to survive if I give away the little? If I break off a piece of the piece that I have, how am I going to make it? Well, you're going to make it. The Most High is going to make sure you make it. You know, the Most High is not going to chastise you because you gave. He's not going to be like, oh, well, you gave from a good heart. Now let me put you in a bad predicament. Especially if it's alms and things like that. Now, remember, the flip side to this is, knowing who you giving to. The scriptures say, give to the godly man, and you shall find recompense. And help not the sinner, because the sinner ain't going to pay you back. We can go there. So get that for me. It's in Ecclesiastes. Read on.
Verse 9. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself.
Because you do what?
Layest up a good treasure for thyself.
Yeah, when you give your abundance, you lay up a good treasure for yourself. Ecclesiastes 12:1, right? You lay up a good treasure for yourself when you give that abundance, or even when you give the little bit that you have. Either way, you're laying up a treasure for yourself. Go ahead.
Against the day of necessity.
Right, because you might need something, and you might have gave the little bit that you thought that you had. You might have gave from the little bit and you were fine. But then there might be a time when you have a little bit less than a little bit, and you might have to come and say, "Hey, brothers, I need to borrow this, or can I get this, or I'm in need." It's there for you to have. It's there for your necessity. See, that's how, when you look at Esau, when you look at all these other nations, that's how they do it, man. That's how they build communities and they build themselves up. They lay up treasures for one another for the time of need. Oh, well, guess what? I'm going to buy this house so that way when my family comes from Indonesia and all these other countries and they need a place to live because they're going to have a place to live until they get on their feet. And when they get on their feet, they'll branch out and they'll do the same thing for the next person in need. And they keep doing it. It don't matter how much space we got. Nigga, if there's enough space to lay on, you got a bed. That's how some of these people do it, right? Ain't that how Moab do it? Even Issachar. See, Judah is garbage at this. Judah is very trash at looking out for their own. But even Issachar will pile up a house, pile up a pickup truck. They'll pile things up to make sure that everybody got a little space until they're good and they can branch out on their own. So we got to get a lot better at this mentality of giving. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Because that alms do deliver from death.
Yeah, because that death comes in the form of what? Famine. It comes in the form of homelessness. It comes in the form of all these carnal things that we deal with on a day-to-day. You gave a little extra of your food. Now that when you hungry, you come back and get that. You see that? That's how it works. Death comes in the form of these things, man. But the alms is going to deliver you the things that you gave in abundance or in little. Go ahead.
And suffer not to come into darkness.
Read.
For alms is a good gift unto all that give. It in the sight of the Most High.
In the sight of who?
The Most High.
Right. It's about doing it and when it's talking about in the sight of the Most High, you're not doing it for man. You're doing it knowing that the Most High is going to repay you. So you might, and giving alms, you're not supposed to give that looking for a repayment anyway. You're supposed to give that saying, okay, I'm giving alms, or the Feast of First Fruits, I'm giving what the Most High is requiring of me to give. He'll repay.
Oh, 2 Corinthians.
He'll repay. No, we're not going to go there yet. Go to Ecclesiastes. Go to Ecclesiastes 12.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12.
Right, just on his question and just going with this Tobit. I know it's a little bit off the feast, but it's all about giving at the end of the day. Read verse 1. Ecclesiastes 12:1.
Come, when thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it.
Right, go ahead.
So shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits.
Right, so you got to know who you're doing good to. You got to know who you're giving alms to so you can be thanked for your benefits. Now, what if I don't thank you? What if I don't thank you? In a way you feel like you should be thanked.
I'd rather you not thank you.
I would hope so. I would hope you rather not me thank you in the way you think you should be thanked. That thanks should come from the Most High. Go ahead.
Con. Do good to the godly man.
Do what?
Do good to the godly
We
man.
got to get a lot better at this. Doing good to the godly man. Y'all would rather just like be strung out for your families that are literally sucking you dry.
Con.
But the godly man is over here withering away, trying to make it, trying to do the godly thing.
Con.
And it's like, well, my family. Your family don't give a damn but to use and abuse you. And then when you don't get no recompense from the family because they do the I'm gonna pay you back when taxes come, but then when taxes come, they're like tax time ballers. They forget all about the debts that they owe. They forget about all the money they borrowed because they gotta pay their light bill, their phone bill, they gotta get all the shoes in the mall, right? They gotta walk through the mall and hit every shoe store. They gotta make sure they walk through with 20 bags of shoes during tax time. They forget about you. That ain't godly. But when you need, you can't go to them. But the godly man, you can go to him and say, hey, brother, and you know, in any instance, even just in simple counsel, hey, brother, I need to talk real quick. Come on, what's up? Think about how many times you was in the world and needed to talk and you couldn't talk to nobody. They wouldn't even give you their time of day.
God.
Read.
And thou shalt find a recompense.
And thou shalt what?
Find a recompense.
Read on.
And if not from him,
and if it's not from that godly man, read.
Yet from the Most High.
You see that? It's just like we read in Tobit. When you give alms, you store up alms, and it kind of is for yourself. Where you at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 2.
Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, chapter 12 and verse 2. Read.
Con. There can no good come to him that is always.
Read verse 3.
Con. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil.
Right. So just, understanding who you're giving to. Now going back to the feast, we're supposed to be giving to the Most High, ourselves, our living sacrifice. And this ain't just for this is every day, man. Every day you're supposed to be waking up ready to give yourself. Not on that old selfish, man, that's selfish. Well, they're supposed to know, and we're here to give ourselves to each other.
God.
We're here to give ourselves to each other, not in that selfish mode of, well, if it ain't gonna benefit me, I ain't gonna do it. True. That's the problem. If it ain't gonna benefit me, I ain't gonna do it. That's selfish as hell, and it won't benefit you. You won't get nothing from the Most High, because it says the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your labor and love, God, and the good that you do towards His name. God. But if you're doing it looking for some recompense, you might as well not do it. Go to 2 Corinthians 8.
God.
And just for everybody that walked in, we're going over the feast of. We got a feast on Friday, the feast of first fruits, or the feast of Pentecost. And we're just going over some scriptures about the feast, about giving, what we're supposed to be doing. Okay? Let me see here. It says, you're right. Judah does suck at that. I remember when I moved here, my rib brought her family to stay with us without my approval, and I was mad every day. Yeah, Judah is like, man, when you 18, get the hell out of the house. Get out the house, go fend for yourself. We're so quick to toss our children out into the streets, out into the world, and not give them and build them up for the world. Because it was done to you. It was done to your fathers. It was done to everybody. Oh, I gotta go be independent. I gotta get out. So the difference is with these other nations, you can see why these other nations are so much more successful here in America. That's just one of the reasons amongst the many. Read 2 Corinthians 8. 2 Corinthians 8 and 11.
God. Now therefore perform the doings of it.
Read.
That as there was a readiness to will.
Right. There had to be a readiness to will. Go ahead.
So there may be a performance also out of that which ye have.
Read verse 12.
For if there be first a willing mind.
Right. See, that willing mind had to first be there to give. To give yourself. You had to be willing to do so. Even with this feast, if you weren't willing to give up them first fruits, was it really accepted?
Law.
Well, the scripture is going to tell us. Read.
It is accepted.
Right, so it had to be accepted through a willing mind. That's why it tells you in Deuteronomy, it said it was a free will offering. Go ahead.
According to that a man had.
You see that? According to what a man had. So the little that he had or the abundance that he had, that's what it was talking about. Watch, read on. It's going to read down. It's going to show you. Read.
And not according to that he had not.
Right, because this is what we always do. We look at what we don't have. We look at what we don't have, and it's like, well, I'm not good enough to do this. I'm not good enough to do that, so I'm not going to come around. Or I got issues, so I'm going to stop coming to class. Or I got this, so I'm not going to be around brothers. I don't want to affect them. No, look at what you do have. The Most High said he gives you everything efficient unto every good work. He gives you everything efficient to abound unto every good work. So you already come with things that are readily to be able to give. You already come equipped with talents that can be given. Only if your mind is willing. We got to stop looking at the things that we don't have and don't possess, and I'm not good at this and I'm not ready for that. Don't think about that. Think about what you do have, the little bit of faith you came in on. Don't bamboozle yourself out of the blessings, out of the kingdom. I'm not like what did Moses try to do? I'm not an eloquent speaker.
Right.
Most I was like, okay, I'll give you Aaron.
No excuses.
Problem solved, and you don't work it out. But we do more than just I'm not an eloquent speaker. We look at all our negatives and use that as an excuse why not to give. Go ahead, read.
Verse 13. For I mean not that other men be easy.
You see that? So your free will offering, you weren't giving that for everybody to just be able to sit back and just suck you dry like a leech. Everybody else's ease while you giving up? Nah. Read.
And ye burden.
Right, go ahead.
But by an equality.
What, there was supposed to be what?
An equality.
Read on.
That now, at this time, your abundance may be a supply for their want.
Right, and this is going right back into your major, what you were saying about the abundance, and then it's right in with this Tobit that we read. Read.
That their abundance also may be a supply for your want.
Read.
That there may be equality.
Read on.
As it is written,
He
that had gathered much and had nothing over.
It said he that had gathered much had nothing over. Why? Because he gathered, everybody needed 10. I gathered 12. He got 8. I'm going to give him my 2. It's going to tell you. He that gathered much had nothing over. Read.
And he that had gathered little had no lack.
You see that? And he that gathered little had no lack. If he gathered little and I gathered much, I gave him the abundance. Now we equal. That's what it was about. So, going back to the feast days, even with giving, it said, go back to Deuteronomy 16.
There's one in 15:10. There you go. I was trying to.
Bro, you gotta
Be more aggressive.
You gotta get up in here. Go ahead, Rick.
Deuteronomy chapter 16, verse 10.
Go ahead.
And thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Lord thy power,
right,
with a tribute of a free will offering.
You see that? A free will offering. Go ahead.
Of thine hand, which thou shalt give unto the Lord thy power, according as the Lord thy God hath blessed thee.
So if he blessed you with overmuch, you gave. If he blessed you and you had little, you still had to give. Go ahead.
And thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy power.
Read.
Thou and thy son.
Read.
And thy daughter. And thy manservant. And thy maidservant. And the Levite that is within thy gates. And the stranger. And the fatherless. And the widow that are among you.
Right, so this was a gathering for the nation, man. And if there were some strangers that was joined up with us, they had to fall in line with this custom. Go ahead.
In the place which the Lord thy power hath chosen to place his name there.
Right, read verse 12.
And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt, And thou shalt observe and do these statutes.
Right. So again, there's not. I mean, all the other scriptures basically they reiterate the same point. They reiterate the same point as far as giving, and what we did. Let me see here.
Just to
Yes, sir.
Just to reiterate, like, so this is more so the offering versus it being tithe. This not necessarily required. This is what you can offer to give.
No, this was required.
Oh, this was required.
Yeah, this was a requirement.
Okay,
that was the whole point. Was because everyone was harvesting at this time.
Right.
So you brought the first of your harvest, no matter how big or small. But it was a requirement. Yeah, it was definitely a requirement. Now alms. Now I know we went through some scriptures on alms, but I was really trying to hit more on the giving of the alms because even here in the Deuteronomy, he said, "Which thou shalt give unto the Lord thy God, according as the Lord God has blessed thee." So you gave according to how you were blessed. And then going into the Titus and the Corinthians, it kind of showed you what it was talking about. So everybody gets that, right? Con. And so that's what so we'll be having the feast. Obviously, everybody gonna be showing up here with with bags of fruit and wheat, baskets of hay. We're not gonna be doing that, right? But we will be here gathering together, congregating, just endeavoring to keep the unity, man. Endeavoring to keep the bond of the spirit of peace. No one knows that labor amongst you. Having a little downtime from all the work that we've been putting in. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Right? And doing it the righteous way, observing the Most High's holy day.
It gives you opportunity to know who you're dealing with more on a one-on-one basis, outside of just a classroom atmosphere. For the brothers and sisters that just watch online or just comes to class, you can deal with this outside now. Off the podium, talking one-on-one, rapping, eating some food, sharing some food together. It's a nice atmosphere. I remember when I first started coming to class and I came to my first feast day. I was very interested in knowing about everyone that came to the school, men, women, and children, because I wanted to know who they were about. And this is before I knew the scripture, know those who labor amongst you. I was just interested in the people. I was interested in everybody. I was interested in Quad Zab. I was interested in the kids. I was interested in the wives. Not as in I'm trying to be a hormone. I'm just trying to know who I'm with. And it's everyone's like everyone's like a book, and you just talk to them, and it's like reading the pages. It's I see people's whole lives, and while they're talking to me, I just picture everything that they're telling me. Sometimes my mind is kind of animated, even though I don't sound as animated.
It kind of like I'm kind of still fresh to the camp myself.
Yeah.
And I remember like my first feast and like how everything was like. It was totally not opposite, but different from coming to class because a lot of more people was more relaxed. People were just like really just opening up, trying to get to know each other. I sat down and talked to Mark a little bit. Sat down and talked to Max a little bit, learned a little bit about him. I kind of like, no disrespect to the ladies or the wives, and I just really didn't communicate with them. But I noticed like, okay, I started like noticing like, okay, who's with whom, like trying to just observe it, just trying to be observant and get the feel of like the camp in itself. Just remind me of like when I'm still fresh. It's
definitely awesome. I mean, getting to know brothers. I remember my first time linking up with brothers outside of class to go work out. Because I thought these was a bunch of angry brothers. I was like, man, these guys Israelites don't smile. I guess Israelite men don't smile. We're not supposed to smile. We too hard and tough. But then after talking with brothers,
I never smile.
I mean, especially this guy right here. I mean, Quad Zab, if you know what that means, you can do some homework and look his name up. I was like, man, this guy is hardcore right here. He never smiles. But then actually talking to him, I was like, dang, he's real easy to talk to. He's easy to talk to. He's easy to get along with. A very likable guy.
That's right.
I tried. They got a question online. Let's see here. Oh yeah, talking to them preachers. Shalom, brothers. While fasting and praying yesterday, I talked to a preacher who said our laws can't get us to heaven. Only the things in Matthews 25 and 35. Your thoughts? Go to Matthews 25 and 35.
Come on, Matthew chapter 25, verse 35. For I was an hunger, and ye gave me meat.
Right.
I was thirsty, and ye gave me drink.
Right.
I was a stranger, and ye took me in. Naked, and ye clothed me.
Right.
I was sick, and ye visited me. I was in prison, and ye came unto me.
Read on.
Then shall the righteous answer him, say, Lord, when saw we thee and hungered, and fed thee, or thirsty, and gave thee drink? When saw we thee a stranger, and took thee in, or naked, and clothed thee? Or when saw we thee sick, or in prison, and came unto thee? And the king shall answer and say unto them, Verily I say unto you, inasmuch as ye have done it unto one of the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me.
You know what's funny about this? If these were the only stipulations to go to heaven, half the Christians wouldn't even make it. 99% of Christians wouldn't even make it. They ain't doing this, they selfish. What jail are y'all visiting? Stop it. Y'all really want to cut a slice of bread off your loaf. You really want to cut a slice of bread off the loaf and let the crumbs fall down. What the hell are y'all talking about? Christians ain't doing this. They ain't visiting no jails. They too busy work, party, church. Go ahead, read on. They don't even know the extent of this. They're not ready to give themselves. They don't. Read on.
Verse 41. Then shall he say also unto them on the left hand, Depart from me, ye cursed, into everlasting fire, prepared for the devil and his angels.
Read.
For I was an hunger, and ye gave me no meat. I was thirsty, and ye gave me no drink.
Right, now let me say this. Your pastor is right. The laws ain't gonna get you to heaven. You know why? Because you got wicked niggas that keep the laws anyway. You got wicked niggas with beards. You got wicked niggas with fringes. So we know that it's not going to be the law. Go to Galatians. Go to Galatians chapter 2 and verse 16. I want y'all to pay very close attention. We know that the law ain't going to save us. We know that.
Galatians chapter 2 verse 16.
And the scriptures say it, right? It's going to tell us. Read.
Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law.
Now, I want y'all to put on y'all Hebrew minds. I just gave it away. Why would a man not be justified by the law, by the doing of the law?
Because, like you said earlier, even there's wicked men that even follow the law.
Because there's wicked niggas that follow the law. There's wicked women that follow the carnality, the carnal. Like the law is wear fringes, right? Ain't that the law? The law is wear a beard, right? The law is women covering your head, right? How many wicked men got beards on? How many wicked brothers is running around killing people with fringes? They got fringes tucked in. They know Hebrew. They got Hebrew names. And they wicked. There's a lot. There's a lot of men and women that are wicked that they do the law. What's that?
Judah and Ham women wear head wraps as a fashion statement.
Right. Even our custom or our law is, like she said, it's turned into more of a fashion statement. But I was going more of the ones that know the law to keep it, like the brothers and sisters that claim to be Yisraelites. I'm a Yisraelite, right? And it has the Y. Yisraelite.
Like the Pharisees.
Right. They know to keep that law, but then they out doing wickedness. They're unjust. They're unfaithful. They're prideful. They're hateful towards their brother or sister. They weren't doing any of the stuff we read in Matthews. right? But they got even more wickedness on them. So we know that the law alone, right, ain't gonna do it. And it's telling us right here, read.
Knowing that a man is not justified by the works of the law,
right,
but by the faith of Yahweh Shah Mashiach.
Right, so he said the works of the law, but by faith. Right? So what does a Christian say? Well, I got faith, so I don't need to do nothing. I got faith. Right? But because it's saying here, I'm not going to be justified by the law, so why do it? Ain't that how the mind works? Well, if I'm not going to be justified by it, what's the point? No, there was a point. There was a point. And we were, spoiler alert, we were supposed to keep the law regardless of being justified by the law or not. We just knew that the law alone couldn't justify anybody, because just like the Pharisees and Sadducees kept the law but were hypocrites, they would be no different, or if you were justified by the law, you would be counted no different than any other man that was doing it through the actual spirit of the law. Y'all get that? What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, basically knowing the laws, it says knowledge puffeth up.
Right.
And everything in that scripture, it says charity. That's charity to your brother.
Charity edifieth. Right, because you could have the knowledge of the law, but where's the charity? Where's the love? Where's the peace? Where's all those things in the spirituality of the law? Remember, and we're going to go there, but the Bible says in Romans that the law is spiritual, but we are carnal. So if something is spiritual, but we're carnal, trying to attain this spirit, it's going to start out carnal at first. But some men never leave off the carnality of it. They're like, well, I did the beard, I did the fringes, I showed up to the feast day, but I hate this nigga that's in front of me. It'd be like that. Like, yeah, I'll be at the feast day, but I hate you. I got a grudge with you. They ain't saying it openly, but in their heart, they got a grudge. You might as well have stayed home. But what you gonna say? Well, Yahweh Shai, I showed up to every feast day. Well, what makes you different from the other man that showed up to the feast day with love and charity?
You didn't have that love and charity.
You didn't have that love and charity. That's what makes you different. Why he said, well, depart from me, you worker of iniquity. Because you showed up with a grudge. Yeah, you showed up, decked out, fringes glistening. They was bells and whistles. You had all the pomegranate bell, right? You had it all laid out according to numbers. But you had hate in your heart. That's why he said you can't be justified by the law, because everybody's going to think, well, I got fringes and I'm at the feast day. No, but there had to be something that's separated. Read on.
Even we have believed in Yahweh Shah Mashiach, that we might be justified by faith of Christ.
Read.
And not by the works of the law.
Right, not by the works alone. Read on. And not just by faith alone. Because faith without works is dead. Read. Find me the one where he said, I'll show you my faith by my works. Go ahead, read.
And not by the works of the law.
Read
For
on.
the works of the law shall no flesh be justified.
Yeah, the works alone, nobody's going to be justified by that. Because that's just the works of it. You can do that in autopilot. You can do that in I don't give a F mode. Some of us do it now, like, I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn about this damn feast day on Friday, but I'm going to just be there. I don't give a damn to be there, but I'll be there. I'm going to show face. How many of y'all, I'm going to show face? Nobody in here, right? Go to Romans. Nobody in here is doing that. Let's go to Romans. Go to Romans 3. Romans 3 and 31.
Romans chapter 3, verse 31.
Do we make void the law?
Right, so he said that we believe in the faith, right? We have the faith towards Christ. Now, do we void out doing the law because we got faith? Read on.
Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. Yeah, we establish the law.
He said we do what?
We establish the law.
The law is established through our faith, through the faith of us doing it through a whole heart, through a sound mind, rehearsing the righteous acts through a spiritual mind, not just I'm in dress rehearsal, I'm I'm in autopilot. Rehearsing the righteous acts don't mean you're in autopilot. I don't give a F mode. That's not what that meant. Rehearsing the righteous acts, you were doing it still with spirit, with fervency, with zeal, with love, with charity, with care. No matter what it was. If it was about wearing your fringes, you wore your garment proudly. Not to say, well, I got the longest fringes, but as a representation of who we are. Like, when I'm out there in fringes, I'm not wearing my fringes to say, yeah, I got my fringes on, nigga, you can't check me. It's a sign. If a cat wants to walk up to me and rap, he knows what I'm about. That's charity. That's love. It's a sign for the people. You know how many people notice the fringes or they want to wear their fringes and they're scared? But we wear our fringes because, first of all, ain't no fear, but 2, to show the people it's okay, and 3, so they can see it and, oh, hey, what's up, brother? How you feeling? I like your shirt. What's up? You got something, Tiana?
It's like a bat signal.
It's like,
Oh, wow.
she said it's like the bat signal. It's real though. It's real. I expect her to say that because her dad's a Batman fanatic, but it's real. It is like the back hall. It's like, man, fringes. They're like, they home right in.
Right.
Next thing you know, everybody gathered together just talking. That's how it should be. Right? It's a sign. But it's not a sign for me to go to war with you. I don't wear the fringes so I can go to war with you and talk about you not having fringes on. I wear them so you can see and say, oh, okay. Damn. Now I got somebody I can talk to. Now I can feel comfortable in my skin rehearsing the righteous acts. Right? Oh, here it is. James 2:18. I actually had it written down. And then he sent it.
I was waiting.
Go to James 2:18 real quick.
Come on. James chapter 2, verse 18.
Right?
Yes, amen.
No. Go to
James 15.
yeah, no. 2:17.
Come on. Even so, faith,
Right?
if it had not worked,
Right?
is dead.
You see that? So it can't be faith alone, but it can't be works alone. It definitely can't just be faith, because where's the works to establish that you're faithful? Oh, I got faith in the Most High. Well, then go out and teach. That's the law. Go out and teach. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, then where's your real faith in the Most High and in the knowledge? Where's your confidence at? You know, simple things like that. Well, I got faith. Okay, well, show me your faith. Go ahead, read on.
Come. Even so, faith, if it had not works, is dead. Being alone, yeah, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works.
Right, see, one might say I have faith, another might say thou hast works. Go ahead.
Show me thy faith,
right,
without thy works.
Yeah, man, show me your faith without works. You can't. Because all you can say is I have faith. But where's the works to establish your faith? Go ahead.
And I will show thee my faith by my works.
He said I will do what?
Show thee my faith by my works.
Read verse 19.
Thou believest that there is one God.
Go ahead.
Thou doest well.
Yeah, but what's the difference? Watch, read on.
The devils also believe.
They do what?
The devils also believe.
Listen, when they see Yahweh Shai come, they're like, what you got to do with us, Christ? You came to torment us? The devils believe. They had the faith. But where was their works? Watch this, read.
And tremble.
And they what?
Tremble.
See, that's the difference. You talk about you believe. I believe in Christ. I believe in the Savior. But why you ain't budging? Why you ain't making no moves, man, according to that faith? The devils believe and they actually tremble. They put some work behind that belief. Read.
Come, but wilt thou know, O vain man,
right,
that faith without works is dead?
Yeah, faith without work is dead. Bottom line, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Faith without works is dead. So, going back to their question, let me look at it one more time. So I'm not make sure I'm on track. Yeah, the laws alone, keeping of the law alone will not get us to heaven. You got to have the works of the law coupled with the faith of the Most High in Christ. Remember, Hebrews 11:6, without faith it's impossible to please Him. So without believing in the law, believing that the law will save, believing that the works of the law will purify you, you're not going to please the Most High anyway. You got to have that faith, but then you got to actually do the law. The faith is this: if I eat well, I'm gonna be healthy. The works is to
Actually eating healthy.
actually eating healthy. You can't just, I got faith. I got faith that I'm gonna be healed. I'm sick, but I got faith. Well, where's the work behind it? Where's the changing of the diet? Where's the changing and the cleaning and where's that at? That has to be with it. So the pastor was right, but they didn't explain it to you wrong. And I don't want to say your pastor was right because they're wrong. He was wrong, right? Because he didn't give you the balance. He didn't give you the balance of. And I mean, obviously they didn't give you a scripture. I went to the scripture, but that's what they were quoting. That Galatians 2:16. They love to go there. No man's justified by the law. You're right. But where's the balance to that? Break it down, edify.
Yeah.
So your pastor was still wrong.
Yeah,
as they always are.
They make it seem like you don't have to do the law. You don't have to keep it. You don't have to do nothing. All you got to do is just believe in Jesus. Keep your faith in Jesus. You know.
But the devils believe.
Exactly.
The devils believe, but they tremble. That's why I love that scripture. That's why I love going to that. Where were we at? That was James, right? Yeah, I like that James because it shows you, man. Like, what's the separation? What's the separation between just having faith, but having faith in works?
You know, it's like everything is spiritual. Me and other brothers talk about this. Everything is spiritual. Now, with everything being spiritual, it starts in the spirit first, and then it comes through in the physical. But just saying, I'm having that faith, I'm believing, but it not manifesting in the physical is not really having the faith, because you're not having the performance of the faith. It's just like at the very end of this same chapter, James chapter 2 and verse 26. If someone can read that for me.
For as the body without the spirit is dead.
As the body is without the spirit is dead. Because it's the spirit that animates the body. It's that spirit that puts things into action. It's the faith that puts things into action. Go ahead.
So is faith without works is dead also.
Read that last part again.
So faith without works is dead also.
So faith without the works is dead also. So you just believing and not actually having the performing of what you believe is dead. It's like not believing at all. Just like the body without the spirit is dead. If there's no performance of your faith, if there's no outward action of your faith, it's like it's not there. Just sitting there believing in your mind is not there.
And it's not. Anything else? No, that's exactly what they say. Anything else? Any other questions? Ronnie said for all y'all to bring y'all's dancing shoes on Friday. He gonna cut a rug. He gonna be cutting a rug with somebody out here. Ronnie, I ain't dancing. Sorry. I don't dance, I boogie.
My back, brother, you know.
I don't dance, I boogie. Let's see here. I mean, if that's it, we can go into class right on time. All I need is 2 hours. Woo! All I need is 2 hours. Right? So you can me and my rib was talking about that too. You can change the title to Where Sickness Comes From. That's the title of this class. Where sickness comes from. Someone go to and we're gonna talk about sickness, man. We're gonna talk about physical health and mental health. And where does these sicknesses that we deal with as a people, where do they come from? How do they start? A lot of us deal with ailments of the flesh. A lot of us are dealing with ailments of the mind. You know, when you pray, when we pray to the Most High, remove all malicious, hateful, envy, remove these things from us. You know, what are they? They're demons. They're spirits that are on you, that are attached to you. And what do? They're like leeches, man. They suck on you. They suck on your true spirit. They suck on the natural you and conform and change you into them. So if there's hate, if you got a hate spirit on you or a spirit of hate, you become hateful. You got a spirit of pride, you become prideful. You got a spirit of fear, you become fearful. It's all just different spirits. If you got the spirit of physical sicknesses, different sicknesses, those things, man, they can cast you into outer darkness. Being physically sick, it weighs you down. So we're gonna go through it. Go to 3 John 1 and 2.
I have a definition for health.
What you got?
Health, being that's what we're going over, your health. The definition of
hold on real quick.
I'm so sorry, what's the topic?
The title, where sickness comes from. Yeah. You guys have it, your health?
I didn't know what it was.
Oh, I'm like, how'd you guess that? Earlier. Okay, go ahead.
So the definition of health, the condition of being sound in body, mind, or spirit, especially free from physical disease or pain, the general condition of the body, a condition in which one or something is thriving or doing well.
Right, so you see that health is about good health is sound mind, body, right? Being sound, being strong. Go to 3 John 1 and verse 2.
3 John, chapter 1, verse 2.
Right, because the Most High, man, He wants us to be healthy. The Most High wants us to be healthy. He don't want us to be broken and beat down and diseased. He wants us to have sound mind and sound health. Read that.
Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health.
And be in what?
And be in health.
Right. We just read the definition of health, right? Sound mind, sound body, free from disease, free from them demons, right? Because those demons are diseases. Those spirit leeches, they suck on you, and then you got those physical leeches that when you eat all those bad foods, I know what I'm talking about, the tapeworms, the trichinosis worms, bro, those things will control your mind. Why you think you got a food addiction? To certain foods.
Sugar.
All the high fructose. I was watching this dude, he lives out in Hawaii. He cut open the fish. I'm gonna set it on the cam text so everybody can see it. He cut open a fish. I think it was like a yellowtail fish. It was a lawful fish. He bust that fish open, boom. He pulled out an 18-inch worm out of this fish. It was white. It looked like this. It looked like he pulled something like this out of the fish. Not just one. It was a big fish. Yeah, it was a big old yellowtail it looked like. Bro, he pulled something this long out of a fish. And I'm talking about he had to use pliers to rip this thing out of the fish. When he got to it, it had a little egg sac in there. That was just one. That was just one fillet of the meat. When he got to the head, he was pulling things out the brain. And then somebody commented, they were like, man, that fish must have been going crazy while it was swimming. Because these leeches, they affect the brain. These spirits affect your spirit. They latch on. Now we're in control. Right? Remember when Yahushua went to the boy that was cutting himself, and we're going to get there. He said, what is your name? And they said, we are legion, because we are many.
Yeah,
but what was that? What was them demons having that little boy do? Just tossing himself in the fire, man, and drowning himself. Yeah. Now, and I'm hitting both sides here. I'm hitting two things. I'm hitting the spiritual, and I'm hitting the physical. Because now when you got these tapeworms and these leeches that are inside your body, listen, this dude was talking about how these worms reproduce in your body. They're not just in your gut. They go into the gut through the food. They hatch their hatchlings, little microscopics that travel through the blood, and they'll latch on to different parts of your flesh. They need muscle. They'll latch on to different parts of the flesh, but then they'll travel to your organs and reproduce real quick. Drop off a few eggs, a few 100,000. Then they'll eventually work its way to the brain. And you'll have worms and leeches in the brain. They say a lot of people that have those tumors, those tumors that they look at on the MRIs, ain't no damn tumor, that's worms. That's worms that are controlling their actions. So when you got that meat demon, when you just, I mean flesh, and it's a constant, guess what's talking? The worms in you.
Parasites.
Parasites, that's the word. Those parasites in you, because they need a host. They need something to latch onto. But what about the spiritual parasites? See, we have a lot of those. Pride, envy, hate, maliciousness, lust, slothfulness, jealousy, anger, right? Not willing to the lack of willingness to be there for a brother or sister. These are parasites, man, that latch onto you. They latched onto you from birth. They latched onto you from birth, and there was nobody there to purge that from you. You didn't know. Just like when you was eating rocks back in the day and eating all the, remember, I always talk about Kraft singles, how they had the whole Kraft singles push. It's funny, I was in the dairy section today looking at cheese for some reason. I was just looking at cheese, and I was like, let me read about this cheese. And it tells you, artificial, non-melting, pasteurized.
Yep.
Artificial? Like, how you make fake cheese? But then when you got cats online trying to burn the cheese and it don't melt, it just catch on fire. You like, damn, that's the Kraft singles that I've been eating my whole life. That mom thought it was good. Kraft singles, they got 2%. What did it say? It's better than a glass of milk.
Right.
Right. But then you found out that the milk was trash. And all these things gave you all these parasites and bacteria in the body. Allison.
Just watched a video on that about how the cheese can't burn. Like your vitamins are made out of plastic.
You saw that, right? When they were burning the vitamins?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they like put it in the oven.
They put it in the oven?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The real ones they'll burn off, but the other ones they didn't melt down because they were made out of.
They were made out of, they put plastic in the rice.
Yep.
They burnt the rice, and the rice melted the plastic shards that they put as a filler.
And your salt, they put chalk in it.
They put chalk in the salt. Oh yeah, they went through a whole list of like, it was like 15 food items in your house. You can test it yourself.
Yep.
How they put wax on the apples and the fruits to make them shine. All you gotta do is dip them in hot water, and you'll be able to peel that wax right off. I always used to wonder, why is it that if I eat 3-4 apples, my stomach would just start. I'm talking about, I have just stomach pains. I'm like, apples are supposed to be good for you. But it's all that wax that was on the apples that my body was trying to rip through.
Yeah.
All that wax was messing me up.
Just sitting in
your gut. Apples ain't supposed to make your stomach hurt. Apple a day keep the doctor away, right?
Not nowadays.
Not these days, because the apple was supposed to be good for the teeth, good for the roughage, for the bowels.
Yeah.
It was supposed to do a lot of different things, but think about just through time, man, the things that we've given to our body and the amount of parasites you have in your flesh. How many of y'all ever did a colon cleanse? Liver cleanse. You gotta do colon, you gotta do liver. You gotta cleanse yourself. And you don't gotta do like something where you're just on the toilet all day. You can just do 5 papaya seeds will knock out those parasites. You drink down some pineapple juice to kill them. And then you just take a mild little fiber to push them on through. You can do that every single day. You can do that every day. You gotta be careful with the papaya seeds though. You gotta be able to take a laxative to get those out. But just from what we've given ourselves to through the course of our 30 plus, 20 plus years, ain't nobody been in here just healthy their whole life. You done had mad pizza, milk, cheese, fast food, meat, candy. Come on, man. Cake. I love cake. Listen, I love cake. Especially when it's moist. His rib made some cake the other day. They were moist. They were good, man. I was like, damn, this brought me all the way back like when I was 9. That's how it tasted. I was like, damn.
Homemade?
It's a good, yeah.
Heavy?
Homemade and heavy. It was thick. And I'm like, damn, all this sugar. Right? Like your mama and them used to make.
Exactly.
But think about just that throughout time. It made us unhealthy. The Most High said, read it one more time.
Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health.
Right, check this out. I just read an article about hot dogs. They said it causes leukemia and cancer in children. They said it affects the sperm and the seed contain diseases. So I just read an article that hospitals are cutting pork and processed meat out of their cafeteria, canteen. Pork and processed meat because they said, why are we gonna? How can we promote health and then feed people that kills them long term?
Yeah.
Pork was the first thing they said. Pork and then processed meat. They know pork kills. Oh, I reposted that real quick. Like, yeah, now that Esau, now that your white daddy said it, let's see who hops on.
Right.
That's what we waiting for.
God.
White daddy said to eat pork during slavery, so that's what we ate. Now he's coming back and saying, look, pork is killing you. So I want to see who hops on. I want to see who in my family gets the message, right? Who gonna get it? Read on.
God. Even as thy soul prospereth.
Right?
For I rejoice
Go to
greatly.
Ecclesiasticus 30 and verse 14. Ecclesiasticus 30:14. Somebody else get Ecclesiasticus 34 and 15.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 30. And what verse?
30 and verse 14.
Verse 14. Better is the poor, being sound and strong of constitution.
Go ahead.
Than a rich man that is afflicted in his body.
Right, the Most High said, better is a poor man that is sound in his body. Sound constitution, sound body, sound mind. Read.
Health and good estate of body are above all gold.
Man, listen. I went to the gym today. And I tried to play some ball today. And I feel good. I did some workout, got a nice little pump in. I'm getting big, right? Working on my chest, right? Because cats be hating. But I was like, let me go play some ball real quick, get some cardio. You know, we got the teams. We ran 5. I ran up and down the court twice. Whoop, whoop. Whoop, whoop. And, you know, our team was smashing them. One dude dumped at another dude and everybody left the court. And I was like, damn, that's it? And I was like, well, you know, thank God, because my knee started to hurt. My knee started to hurt real bad. And I was like, let me just practice a little bit. Let me shoot. And so, you know, when you take a jumper, you got to be able to jump. It's called a jump shot. But every time I jumped, I felt a sharp pain at the top of my knee. And I'm like, and I got frustrated, man, because I'm like, man, this knee, I'll give anything for my knees to just be on point like they were when I was 16, 17, when I was 30. When I was 30, man, my knees, I was a beast. Even at 30, 35. Now, I don't know what's going on, but every time I try to do a little something and keep myself physically in shape and active, it's not working out. So it's frustrating. So this scripture right here where he says, health and good estate of body are above all gold, hell yeah. I'll pay any amount of money if I had it to get my knees right and to be able to run up and down the court with these young boys. I'll give any amount of money, man. Go ahead, read.
Health and good estate of body are above all gold. And a strong body above infinite wealth.
Bro, and a strong body above infinite wealth. But these are the things that the Most High gave us. These are the things that the Most High wanted for us. Read on.
There is no riches above a sound body.
Man, if that ain't true, I don't know what is. Read on.
And no joy above the joy of the heart.
Right, and there's no joy above the joy of the heart. And, you know, the two work hand in hand, as we're going to find out. That joy of the heart comes because the body is sound. But when that body is beat up, what does it do? It weighs you down. I'm in the gym like mad as hell. Like, man, I just took the ball, tossed it across the court, grabbed my water bottle and walked out. I was able to run for like 30 minutes. I was mad. I'm still mad. I'm still mad that I can't do the things that my mind is like, nah, bruh, you doing this. And then when I push too hard, I end up injured for like 2 weeks. I end up limping, knee swells up. So now I gotta be like, you know what? Fine, body. You don't win. You ain't gonna win, because I'm gonna still push you. I'm gonna still show up back in that gym tomorrow and push it. But I gotta push it only to the limit of not hurting myself. So the body ain't gonna win. The mind is always in control. But I'm gonna still work you out and put you through the regime. Trying to get the body back sound. Go to Ecclesiasticus 34:15.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 34, verse 15.
Go ahead.
Blessed is the soul of him that feareth the Most High.
Come on.
To whom doth he look?
Read.
And who is his strength?
Read.
For the eyes of the Most High are upon them that love him.
Read.
He is their mighty protection.
Go ahead.
And strong stay. a defense from heat,
Uh-huh.
and a cover from the sun at noon, a preservation from stumbling,
Man, the Most High, man, it's beautiful. Read on.
and then help from falling.
Read on.
He raiseth up the soul, and lighteth up the eyes. He giveth help.
He does what?
Giveth help.
Read.
Life and blessing.
These all come from the Most High, man. This is what he wanted for us. Jeremiah 29:11. I always quote it. I know the thoughts that I have towards you. Thoughts of peace and not of evil. Jeremiah 29:11. Go to Ecclesiastes 1 and verse 18. Somebody else get Wisdom of Solomon 1 and verse 13. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse
If I'm
18.
going too fast, let me know. Read.
The fear of the Lord is a crown of wisdom,
What? Read on.
making peace.
Making what?
Peace.
Read.
And perfect health.
Wait, he does what?
Make perfect
The
health.
Most High gives you perfect health. So now, my battle is this. I know what I got to give myself for my knees to feel a little bit better. And I'm like somebody said it, the turmeric. I'm doing the turmeric. Listen, if you understood how much I've been juicing, I've juiced every single day since what was the feast that we had? Since
Passover.
Before Passover, when we did the
Feast of Tabernacles.
Purim. I've been juicing every single day since Purim. Right? And I've seen the results. Oh, trust me. My health is definitely improved. My strength, I don't gotta sleep as much. Not that I did that anyway. But I don't have to sleep and crash during the day. I know what my body will crash off of. I ate a sandwich today, I ain't gonna lie. Ate me a little sandwich, tried to trick a little bit. Oh man, I shouldn't have ate no sandwich. I wanted to sleep. It made me want to sleep instantly. As soon as I ate it, I was like, oh no. It puts you in a daze mode.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I should have just. Oh, he laughed because I was at the mall with him. Jermaine is laughing because I was at the mall with him. I'm like, man, I'm about to go eat a burger. He was like, he looked at me like, damn, really? I was like, yeah, I'm about to go do that. But I didn't do the burger, but I did a sandwich. And I shouldn't have did that. I should have just went home and juiced. I feel better when I don't eat at all. I can go days without eating. I feel better when I don't eat. As soon as I eat, torment, pain, aching. So we know that the perfect health comes from the Most High and he gives us the things that we can use to attain the health. Now, if your health is destroyed and you're trying to come back, you got a lot to come back from. To reverse all the processes of the bad foods we did for so long, it's hard to reverse. And remember, you're not going to reverse 30 years in one day, 30 years in a year, 30 years even in 5 years. But it can be reversed. Where we at?
Oh.
Ecclesiastes 1 and 18, finish it up.
To flourish.
To what?
To flourish.
He said he giveth perfect health to flourish. Come on.
Both which are the gifts of the Most High.
Come on.
And it enlargeth their rejoicing that love him.
Go to Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 13.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 13. For God made not death.
Come on.
Neither hath he pleasure in the destruction of the living.
Read.
For he created all things, that they might have their being.
Because where does the death come from? It comes from all the sicknesses. It comes from all the parasites that leech onto us and literally try to suck your blood, man. That's what these parasites do. They suck your blood. Without you as a host, they ain't living. They need a host. Now think about the spiritual parasites, what you're hosting. Read on.
And the generations of the world were healthful.
They were what?
Healthful.
See, the Most High created us to be healthful, to be full of life, full of vigor, full of health, full of rejoicing. Go ahead.
And there is no poison of destruction in them.
Read on.
Nor the kingdom of death upon the earth.
This is how it was from the beginning. Now, obviously, things done changed, right? Adam, what has thou done? And rejoicing in long life and no poison. What's our sickness? Where does it come from? Go to Jeremiah 14 and verse 19. Jeremiah 14 and verse 19.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 19. Hast thou utterly rejected Judah?
Right, good. And that's a question. Because that's how I feel sometimes. Like, damn, man, has the Most High just utterly rejected our people? Go ahead.
God, hath thou thy soul loathed Zion?
Loathed Zion? You hate Zion? Come on.
Why hast thou smitten us?
Man, why are we getting all these diseases? Why are we getting all these spiritual defects? Read.
And there is no healing for us.
And it feels like there is no healing for Israel. Come on.
We look for peace.
Because we look for the peace, right? But where do we look for it at? That's the problem. Well, you look for peace in the bottle of Henny. You look for peace in the video game. You look for the peace in your woman. You look for the peace in your car. Like, I'm going to drive my car around, listen to the radio on blast. We look for peace in the wrong things. Go ahead.
And there is no good.
Read.
And for the time of healing.
And we look for that healing from the ailments. But what happens?
And behold, trouble.
Why? Read.
We acknowledge, O Lord, our wickedness.
Our what?
Our wickedness.
Read.
And the iniquities of our fathers.
Read.
For we have sinned against thee.
Yeah, because of our sins, man. This is where the sicknesses come from. Go to Jeremiah 18:14. 8:14. Jeremiah 8:14. Because of our sins and our iniquity, this is where the bad health comes from. This is where the bad eating and the bad habits, because it's really bad habits, man, we've developed through time that we use to soothe ourselves and find peace. Go ahead and read that. Jeremiah 8:14.
Jeremiah chapter 8 verse 14. Why do we sit still?
Go ahead.
Assemble yourselves and let us enter into the defense city.
Go ahead.
And let us be silent there. For the Lord our God hath put us to silence.
Come on.
And given us water of gall to drink.
Yeah, man, that gall, that vinegar mixed with poison. Go ahead.
Because we have sinned against the Lord.
Because we done what?
We have sinned against the Lord.
Verse 15.
We looked for peace. But no good came.
Ain't that what we're doing? We looking for peace, man. We're looking for how to get peace for our people. But we're doing it the right way. Oh, let's just hold hands with the white man. That's going to bring peace. Let's just love our enemies. That's going to bring peace. Right? No. That's not going to bring, not the peace the way that the scriptures were intended. The peace comes in following the Most High and fearing His commandment. Fearing Him. Go ahead.
And for a time of health, and behold, trouble.
Isaiah 1 and verse 4. So we're looking for it, but how come we can't attain it? How come there's no ointment? How come we can't find the remedies for our mental sicknesses as well as our physical? Well, the remedy is here. Right here in the scriptures. Right here in the word. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 4.
Isaiah chapter 1 verse 4.
Go ahead.
Ah, sinful nation.
Read.
A people laden with iniquity.
See, and this is our problem. We're so laden. And we're so deep into the iniquity. It's like you can't, it's like almost like you can't come back from this, man. It's like a people laden with iniquities. Go ahead.
God, a seed of evil doers.
Then when they give seed, when their damn kids come out, it's just evil doing. So it's like sin upon sin, generation of generation. Go ahead.
Children that are corrupters.
Think about it, man. You got corrupt children. It's like we give birth to children that are just corrupt from birth. I was shaping in sin, and then we just became the sin. When your children are corrupters, there's a problem. Well, it's because they've been corrupted. Go ahead.
They have forsaken the law.
Read.
The Lord.
Right.
They have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger.
Read on.
They are gone away backwards.
And this is the problem with our people. We go away backwards, man. We walk backwards away from the light, away from the healing. Read on.
Why should ye be stricken anymore?
Right.
Ye will revolt more and more.
Read.
And the whole head is sick.
Wait, it says what?
The whole head is sick.
Yeah, so the head is sick. That's your mental ailments. That's your man, I can't even think about the mental elements right now for some reason.
Depression.
That's
anxiety.
thank you. That's your depression. That's your anxiety. That's your narcissism. That's that egotistic, prideful person. That's the hate. That's the envy. That's the lack of charity. It says the head is sick. Come on.
And the whole heart faint.
And the whole heart is weak, man. The mind is weak as hell. It's fearful. This is where sickness comes from. From the head and from the weak mind. That fearful heart. Read.
From the sole of the foot.
And then it affects what?
The sole of the foot.
Then the soles of the feet. Go ahead.
Even unto the head. There is no soundness in it.
The whole body is affected. Read.
But wounds and bruises.
Read.
And purifying sores.
Putrefying sores. Go ahead.
They have not been closed.
Yeah, man, you get those cysts that just bust open. They just pussing out, yellow, stink. And some of them they gotta go get sewn up or they gotta get gauzed up. Those putrefying sores, they're oozing pus. That's how some of us are, man, in the spirit. Ooh. And some of us are like that physically also. But more, you got them holes in the spirit, man, that those putrefying sores that no one has took the time to show you how to bound up because they didn't have the wisdom to do it. They didn't have the patience, the time, the care, the love. Go ahead.
Neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment.
Right, go to Psalms 38 and verse 1. Go to Psalms chapter 38 and verse 1. So we're going through, man, and figuring out, well, first of all, the Most High wanted us to be helpful. The Most High wanted us to be healthy and in sound mind. So why are we so sick as a people? Why do we have these physical and mental ailments? Well, we're finding out here through our iniquities and through our sins and through our lack of fear of the Most High. Read Psalm 38:1.
Psalms chapter 38 verse 1. O Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure.
Come on.
For thine arrows stick fast in me, and thy hand presseth me sore. There is no soundness in my flesh because of thine anger.
You see that? The anger of the Most High, man, he's taking away the soundness of that flesh. He's weakening you, breaking you down day by day. I'm going to put you through this, I'm going to put you through that, I'm going to break down that flesh. Go ahead.
Neither is there any rest in my bones because of my sin.
Because of what?
Because of my sin.
Read.
For mine iniquities are gone over mine head.
Yeah, you are buried neck deep in iniquities, man. You above sea level. You above the 7 foot depth in iniquities. Go ahead.
As an heavy burden, they are too heavy for me.
And then the sin weighs you down. Come on.
My wounds stink and are corrupt. My wounds stink and are corrupt.
You know, some of y'all got that stinky spirit. Like, man, what got into you? You got that like, ugh. I don't want to be around that person. Got that smelly demon on you that just stinks. That pride that stinks. That hate. That lack of love, man. That's what irks me. That lack of love for one another. That, I'm gonna say this. The brothers have a lot more of it because of how we do things, but you sisters need to work on it. You sisters need to work because y'all are so caught up in your soap opera of work and me. You never fully grasp selflessness and being there for another person, especially when you're needed. Especially when you have something that person needs. It's like, no, well, why do I gotta go through that? Why do I gotta be there for them? Why? Well, why do any of us gotta do it? If that's the case, we all should just sit at home and just do nothing. If it was about why, and it's not fair, you're damn right, this life ain't fair. But who's gonna be the example of selflessness, of charity? See, the brothers, I'm not saying we perfect at it. I'm not saying that. But we have it, obviously, everybody knows we got the business. So we're able to be around one another more to be able to facilitate charity and love and care and love. Now if I gotta sit at the mall with you for 11 hours and you're not all there, I gotta long suffer that. I gotta long suffer you being out the spirit and deal with you in the spirit of charity and not just blaze you up every time I get. You know what I'm saying? We have to work at that. And we have the opportunity to. And you know what's sad? Sisters got the opportunity too. But y'all don't seize the moment. You seize the moment to make an excuse for why not to be around. Well, no, I ain't gonna do that because of this. Or she should know. Well, she don't know. Help her know. Be the example. Show her. Because if I could use the example of he should know, then guess what? I wouldn't talk to no brother. I'd be like, he should know, he should know, he should know, you should know, you should know. But obviously you don't. So someone has to show you. You sisters gotta adopt more selflessness, man. Stop being so damn selfish. But that's why that stink that comes off of you when you say certain things, it's like, man, that was a prideful ass statement. Or that was hateful as hell. Some of y'all do things and it be so hateful, and you don't think there's anything wrong with it. You don't see the hate behind it. It's sad. It's sickening. The mentality, man, of I'm not gonna make myself available for the next person. Why should I have to? It stinks. It's like an open wound that just smells. That's the spirit that's on you. Read on.
My wounds stink and are corrupt because of my foolishness.
You see that? Because of what?
Because of my foolishness.
Because of that foolishness in you? The demons that latch on like, yeah, you ain't got to go do that. Yeah, you ain't got to be there for her. Right. Yeah, you ain't got to be there for him. That's foolishness, man. That's why you stink. Nobody wants to be around those spirits. Go ahead.
I am troubled. I am bowed down greatly.
Go ahead.
I go mourning all the day long.
And then you got the nerve to be mourning. Oh, why me? Why me? How come that? Well, because you stink. Damn it. Because you got these demons on you that are causing a funk. You got go ahead.
It's like being at a party. Everyone else is having fun, and you're that one, those people that's moping around.
You're a wet blanket.
Don't nobody want to be around a moper.
Nobody wants the wet blanket with the AC on.
Exactly. I mean, they want to be around someone that's lively, someone that got that energy, someone that's got the spirit. Shoot, they don't want to be that person that's moping around and has that sickness, that stank. That stank is the sickness of your spirit. Them spirits, them demons on you, bro, it's obvious. People think they hiding things. Brothers think they hiding stuff. Bro, it's all over your face. Your body language.
We can smell it.
We can smell it.
I smell you.
It's the smell, Mr.
I'm like a Wolverine. What's going on? Nothing. I smell you. Read on.
For my loins are filled with a loathsome disease.
Go ahead.
And there is no soundness in my flesh.
Read verse 8.
I am feeble and sore broken. I have roared by reason of the disquietness of my heart.
Go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 26. So all these sicknesses, man, they come because of our spiritual deficiencies, because of our lack to fight. It's really, that's what it is, man. When you walking around just stinking of pride, stinking of hate, stinking of lack of charity, you stink. It's like, wow, you ain't gonna shower that up. You ain't gonna wash that off.
Soap and water.
You ain't gonna bathe that. You ain't gonna wash through the washing of the water of the word. No, I'm gonna stink. I'm gonna sit over here and stink all day, all night until tomorrow. Maybe I'll stink all the way till next week. But they got the nerve to be loathsome. Like, woe is me. You're right. Woe is you. Woe is you. You call that stink to you. Read 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 26.
God. 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 26.
This is the problem, man. We forget. A lot of us forget why we're called. We forget what we were called for and what we were called into. So what happens is, we're just going to read it. Go ahead.
For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup,
go ahead.
Ye do show the Most High death till he come.
Every time you show up, Yahweh Shema Dun, Yahweh Shem Yahshai, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barakatah. Every time you show up and you throw on your fringes and you comb that beard out and you throw on them oils and you represent as an Israelite, every time you do that, read it one more time.
1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 26. For as often as ye eat this bread and drink this cup.
Every time you say, I'm down for Yahweh Shai, I'm down for Christ, I will die for the truth. Every time you say that, go ahead.
Ye do show the Most High death till he comes.
You show the Most High's death every single time. Now, I want that to sink into your medulla oblongata. I said that all wrong. Let it sink into your cortex, the cerebral cortex. Let that sink in. That every time I profess that I'm an Israelite, that you show the Most High's death, man. You show Christ's death. Excuse me. Read on.
Come. Verse 27. Wherefore whosoever shall eat this bread and drink this cup of the Most High unworthily.
Right, and that unworthily comes in the form of your lack of charity, your lack of love, your lack of brotherhood, sisterhood, your lack of wanting to gather. I want to be by myself. Your lack of faith. You unworthy, man. Go ahead.
Shall be guilty of the body and blood of the Most High.
Read on.
Verse 28. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread.
Come on.
And drink of that cup.
Read.
For he that eateth and drinketh unworthily, eateth and drinketh damnation to himself.
Yeah, you bring damnation to yourself. In what form do you ask? Read.
Not discerning the Most High's body.
Come on.
For this cause, many are weak and sickly.
Many are what?
Weak and sickly.
See, because of your lack of faith, your lack of love, lack of charity, because of your lack of humility. It says what?
Many are weak and sickly among you.
Come on.
And many sleep.
So let's get into the physical sickness. Obviously, the first and foremost physical sickness comes from what?
Why?
No. Where does it come from?
Bad eating.
Stress.
Bad eating.
Oh, bad.
Physical sickness, bad eating. Overweight, hypertension, blood disease, high blood pressure, right? Obesity. It comes from bad eating, first and foremost. It comes from bad eating. Go to Ecclesiastes 18 and verse 19. Ecclesiastes chapter 18 and verse 19. And you're going to read that definition.
Ecclesiastes chapter 18, verse 19.
Read.
Learn before thou speak.
Come on.
And use physic or ever thou be sick.
We're going to look up that word.
So physic, the art of healing diseases.
So it says, go ahead.
This is now generally called medicine.
So it says use medicine, ever thou be sick. But watch, read on.
Come on.
No, not you, him.
Medicines, remedies for diseases.
Right? Go ahead.
In popular language, a medicine that purges.
A what?
A medicine that purges.
See, it's telling you before you're sick, purge yourself. That's why he came back up in Corinthians and said, but let a man examine himself. So let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. You gotta purge yourself to see what's going on, man. You gotta examine yourself to say, wait a minute. Am I building up these spiritual leeches? Am I building up these physical leeches? Now we're dealing with food. Now, how many of us literally examine ourselves? Like, let me ask you a question. If you drink milk, what will happen to you? You'll get sick. If you eat cheese, what will happen to you? Same thing? Right. I know when you drink milk, phlegm. If you eat meat, what happens?
I get heavy.
Get headaches. I know you've been on the vegan tip. So if you eat certain non-vegan, what will happen?
Don't feel good.
You just don't feel good, right? Spirit be off a little bit. It says examine yourself. Now, I know if I eat cheese, I get a headache. So if I eat pizza, I just prepare headache. I don't drink milk. I know if I eat meat, I'm gonna feel heavy, right? I know if I eat certain foods, I'll get inflamed in the joints. So, but in examining myself through time, I'm like, okay, this is how this affects me. this is how this affects me. This is what this does to me. If I eat pasta, right, you get real heavy. That's that late night food. Yeah. Or if I eat a lot of late nights, because that's the thing, I'll be up late and I'll eat, go to sleep. Next thing you know, 5 pounds have been gained in a week. You're like, wow. But if I fast, I know what that does to my body. If I go, liquid, I know what that does to the body. I know certain foods, how fast it's gonna pass through my digestive tract.
Oh yeah.
I'm good like that to know, like, oh man, I done ate that. I ain't gonna see that for 2 days. All bad. Unless I'm doing certain things on top, my fiber. You gotta know yourself. You gotta know your body, right? But it says use physic, lest thou be sick. A purging method. Now think about your spirit. Think about the body. Think about the mind. It says it's medicine that purge. Now, a lot of us need a purging daily, but we don't do it. You won't purge week at a time. It'd be a week before you literally get in there and let your mind be purged. So think about the buildup of negative. Think about the little demon that was in you that's been growing because he's been feeding off of all the other negatives. Think about how that pride got to where it got to. Think about how that lust got to where it got to. So when you fast, what are you doing? Purging. So it's telling us, man, use some sort of purging method to get these things out of you before you even get sick. Y'all see that? Go to Ecclesiastes 38:4.
Oh, just on what you were just saying, if I can get one.
Yeah.
Proverbs 16 and verse 6. About that purging method, that purging of the spirit.
Proverbs chapter 16, verse 26.
Read.
He that laboreth for himself.
No, 16 and verse 6.
Oh, verse 6. By mercy and truth, iniquity is purged.
By the Most High's mercy and the truth, its iniquities is purged away. That those blemishes in your spirit, those that sickness of the mind, is purged away through the truth. Go ahead.
And by the fear of the Lord, men depart from evil.
Because it all starts with the fear of the Lord. You got to take the Most High seriously. You got to take His word seriously. You got to take these precepts seriously. The Most High is not. He don't play no games. It's real.
Good point. Go to Ecclesiastes 38 and verse 4.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 4.
Go ahead.
The Most High hath created medicines out of the earth.
Right.
And he that is wise will not abhor them.
Right. So the Most High gave us the medicines that are out of the earth. He said use medicine before you get sick. Use some purging method. Cleanse your body before you get sick. And he said he created the medicines out of the earth. And he said he that is wise will not hate them. See, why do men get sick? Because you hate the fact that you got to turn to the natural remedies. You hate the fact that you got to put down the burger, put down the cheesecake, put down the fast food, pick up a salad. Some people hate the fact that they got to eat healthy. You hate it. Don't you know that eating fruits and vegetables is medicine? Don't y'all know that? It don't got to get to the point where you got to take burdock root and dandelion root and this root and that root. But fruits, vegetables, natural foods are a form of medicine. Allison first.
And not only just like the food part, but you also got to put down the party, you got to put down the drugs, you got to put down the bad friends that are around you too. See,
you trying to go. you trying to take me there.
You got to say that louder.
You trying to take me there. What's his name? Lamont.
Hey, I was just about to say, I eat so many bananas when it's time for me to like start working out, because I haven't been to the gym. But when I do start working out,
it's like energy.
I have a lot of energy, and I rarely feel the soreness of it.
Because potassium works on the muscles. It takes away soreness. It takes away cramping.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. The strongest animals on the earth can eat bananas. Or one of the strongest animals on the earth. All he eats is bananas and leaves. That potassium. But these things, these natural foods, they're there for us they are as medicines. Now, some people are so far gone where they need actual medicine. You can't just go on a fruit diet or a natural diet and be healed from some of the things that we're dealing with, because the physical sickness is too far gone. Right? But then you have some that all they got to do is just switch up their diet. Oh, salad. I'm good. Let me just get a few salads in me to do what? Purge away all the meat that's sitting in my gut. Purge away all the high fructose that's sitting in my gut. Purge away all the little demon worms that are leached onto my liver. All the parasites that are leached onto me. Let me use those natural remedies. Right? Go to Romans chapter 14 and verse 2. Some are at this point. Some are still at this point.
Romans 19 and 2?
14.
Romans 14 and verse 2.
Romans chapter 14 verse 2. For one believeth that he may eat all things.
Come on.
And another who is weak eateth herbs.
Right. See, a man that's weak, he got to eat those natural herbs, those medicines that are from the earth. One man can eat all things. Listen, I can eat all things, but I know the repercussions of my actions. I know when I go get that Whataburger, prepare to sneeze, prepare to be congested, prepare to wake up groggy. I know that for a fact. Yeah, knee just going to balloon all the way up, right? But if I eat the herbs and go on a fast, juicing and things like that, man, I'm going to have that energy. I'm going to be moving. My mind is going to be buzzing. So you should know the repercussions. But you got to know the level of where you're at in your sickness. You got to know the level of where you're at in your mental deficiencies. Go to Ecclesiastes 31 and verse 22. Ecclesiastes 31 and verse 22.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 31 verse 22.
Go ahead.
My son, hear me and despise me not.
He said what?
Hear me and despise me not.
Come on.
And at the last thou shalt find as I told thee.
Right, because what did he tell us? Well, I know the thoughts that I have towards you, thoughts of peace and not of evil. What did he tell us? Follow my commandments and you'll live peaceably. Follow the commandments and you'll have health. Go ahead.
In all thy works be quick.
Be what?
Be quick.
See, when it's talking about in all thy works be quick, it's talking about moderation here. In all the works be moderate. Go ahead.
God. So shall no sickness come unto thee.
So shall no sickness come to you. Because what does overeating of meat do? Sickness. What does over drinking do? Sickness. What does overdoing anything do? Sickness. Now, if you want to go into the party and the drugs, we know that is automatically. You ain't got to overdo it. It's going to bring sickness. Right?
God.
Go to Ecclesiastes 37 and verse 27.
Come on. Ecclesiastes chapter 37, verse 27.
Uh-huh.
My son, prove thy soul in thy life.
Right, which is what, when it says examine yourself, you're supposed to be proving your soul, man. You're supposed to be knowing what's good for my spirit, what's good for the body. Oh, cheese? Oh, headaches? I don't want that. Oh, coffee? Well, I shouldn't drink coffee because it's sucking my body dry. It's literally a laxative. So if I hit coffee every day and I don't have the amount of water to balance out how much the coffee is sucking me dry from the inside out, guess what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have dehydration and I'm gonna get headaches. Right? Energy drinks. It's sucking me dry. If I'm not drinking enough water to compensate, then I'm gonna feel the effects of that. I gotta prove my soul. Go ahead.
And see what is evil for it.
And see what's evil for it. Now, it's not a good thing to be dehydrated. You get cramped up. You can't go to the restroom. The headaches. Then that starts throwing off your day. Now you come in another whack little spirit, right? And then you blame it on, I got a headache. Well, no, you got demons on you. The headache is in the form of a damn spirit. It's a demon obstructing your thoughts, controlling you and telling you how to think and how to react. Then you react, rash. You react, you're short-tempered. You're agitated. See how the food affects you? Right? Or you hit too many energy drinks, you can't sleep. Same thing. You sleep 3-4 hours, you wake up, you're agitated. You're upset. You're short with people. You can't be approached because you got demons on you. Read on.
And give not that unto it.
Yeah, he said, see what's evil and don't give yourself to it, man. Don't be like, oh, well, yeah, I know I get headaches, but I'll just deal with it. Nah, the scripture said, prove your soul. Read it one more time.
Come, my son.
Stop it, man. This is the problem. The Most High said, listen, he said, my son, hear me and despise me not. See, a lot of y'all despise the counsel of the Most High when he's like, listen, don't eat that, don't drink that, because if you drink too much soda, your whole bowels and your whole innards are going to have to be taken out. If you drink too much coffee, your brain is shrinking, and it's actually making you dumber than what you are. Y'all ever read about coffee? What coffee does to the brain? Yeah, it makes you stupid. It don't make you alert like coffee first, then work. Man, stop it. All them dumbass shirts that people walk around with. Coffee, babysitting. Kid, like, y'all seen it. The coffee first and then work, or first coffee. Right. No, that means you want to be stupid before you start your day. Like, if I don't got my coffee, I just can't make it. How about relying on the Spirit? How about relying on faith? How about relying on the Most High? How about pushing through the madness?
You know what? It's because that coffee, it gives you that quick, instant gratification. You get that quick, I'm up, I'm alert. But if you get up early and you take the time to actually set up some prayers, read your scriptures, get some exercise in, get that blood pumping and circulating through your body
will make you alert.
That makes you alert. That's what the coffee is stimulating. That it's fitting your blood and making it travel through your body quicker, making your heart beat faster. But like you also said,
it makes you jittery, it makes you stupid, you act emotional, you act rashly. You talk. Y'all see people off coffee? Bro, one apple has the same amount of energy that a cup of coffee has without all the BS. And then you add all the sugar on top of it. You add all the vanilla creamer, the hazelnut creamer, 7 pumps.
With the aluminum in it.
You got aluminum in it? I didn't know that.
In the powder.
I didn't know that. Yeah. I was just talking about the creamer that was already flavored. I don't mess with that powder stuff. Creamer. I stopped doing coffee. I mean, I have my times. I purge myself away. Like, I drink coffee, I do energy drinks, but I'll purge myself away from that for weeks at a time, because I know I can't do that every single day.
No.
Every week. So
gotta be balanced. Yeah,
you gotta fight through your days without having some type of stimuli other than the spirit. That's why the spirit gets blocked, man. That's why the wisdom get blocked. Your brain is firing off too many neurons and too many impulses to even grasp what's being told to you. The coffee is like a damn block. It just turns you into an idiot. You gotta look up the effects of coffee when you get a chance. It literally turns you stupid. It sucks your brain. It sucks you dry. It dehydrates the body. It's a natural laxative. That's why when you drink it, you gotta poop. But guess what? For those that drink coffee daily and don't use the bathroom every day, that right there should tell you something. You need to stop drinking it. If you drink coffee every day and don't go to the restroom every day, and the coffee is a natural laxative, a natural diuretic, and you don't have just even the urge to go, you gotta stop drinking coffee. It's having the reverse effect. It's sucking you dry of all the fluid inside of you. That's why you get those hard, dry bowel movements. You're just hard like a brick because all that bad food, all that coffee you drinking, you're dehydrated. That dehydrated turd, you ain't supposed to have that. I'm sorry. But it ain't supposed to be dehydrated. But that, hey,
like a break.
That's representing some people's spirits, though. You got dehydration of the spirit. Your spirit's like a dry turd. It's real because you got the demons sucking you, sucking all the goodness out of you, sucking all the life, all the wisdom. It says the word is like a well, right? It's living water. But when the word ain't going in you, them demons is sucking you dry, man. You look famished. You looking like Michael Jackson Thriller. What's up?
So saying like having a constipated spirit.
Yeah, you backed up, frustrated. That's what it is. But then when you do release, it's just dry. When you do come to wits, it's so dry you ain't gonna wipe. Yeah, it's like what? It's real though. No, that's where you be having them dry ones. You're still supposed to wipe. But
as it's so dry, it don't push through.
But it be so dry, man, it just hurts. But some people's spirits be like that. They be so dry in the spirit because something is leeching on and pulling all that wisdom out of them. And when they do give themselves, it's dry. It's autopilot. It's non-charitable, non-loving. You can see it. It's like, damn, you dry in the spirit. You looking famished in the spirit, man. Read on.
Con, prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it.
There it is, Zion. That's what it does. Coffee cuts off the blood flow to the brain. That's what coffee does. It cuts off the blood flow to the brain. So the more blood and oxygen your brain gets, the sharper you are. If you're getting blood cut off, how dumb do you get? You're suffocating the brain.
Not getting that oxygen.
You're not getting that oxygen in that blood. It cuts off the blood. Because now the blood got to go to the heart to pump it because of that damn caffeine that's coursing through the veins. Go ahead, read on.
For all things are not profitable for all men, neither has every soul pleasure in everything.
All you got to do for Josie Neva, wait till we're done with class and just watch the beginning. We went over Pentecost. The first hour we went over the Feast of Pentecost. I know you probably logged in late, so just wait for the video to be finished and upload it, and you can just watch it from the beginning. Go ahead.
Be not
unsatiable
in any dainty
right,
thing.
Meaning don't be unsatisfied. Unsatiable meaning you can't be satisfied in the dainty things. All the little Debbie cakes and bags of chips and fruit snacks and Twizzlers and Twix and white Snickers and Red Bulls and quarter waters and you know what I mean? They ain't 25 cents no more, but the 25-cent pack of cookies, remember those?
Yeah.
You get like 8 cookies for 25 cents. Y'all don't remember those? Yeah. Food stamp money. Those are food stamp cookies. You come out with 10 packs of those, just all flavors: lemon, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry filling. Oh yeah, strawberry.
Strawberry. What was that?
Oh yeah. Come on. We was in the hood, man. They was giving those out for 25 cents to keep you sick.
Yeah.
It said, be not unsatisfied in the dainty things. Unsatiable, unsatisfied. Right. In the dainty things. Go ahead.
Nor too greedy upon meat.
Read.
For excess of meat.
Read it right.
For excess of meat.
Go ahead.
Bringeth sickness.
It bringeth what?
Sickness.
It bringeth what?
Sickness.
See, the excess of meat, not saying that you can't eat meat or that meat is wicked. But if you sick, if you already sick and you hitting meat, it's going to make you more sick. Because the excess of it brings sickness. How does it bring sickness? Read on.
And surfeiting
will
turn into childhood.
Will turn into collar. Get the word surfeiting. Somebody else get the word collar.
I have surfeiting.
Oh, what you got?
It's an excessive amount of something.
Right, surfeiting or doing something in excess. Right, so surfeiting turns into collar. Look up collar. You know what collar is? What you got?
One of the 4 bodily humors identified with bile and believed to be associated with a peevish or irascible temperament.
Yeah, because you know what happens when y'all ever ate a triple meat and then went to bed? Y'all ever ate like a burger or a lot of meat and then went to sleep?
Yeah.
And you wake up in the middle of the night sweating. First of all, you can't get comfortable because the meat's just sitting there. It's not being moved anywhere. It's the stomach is just doing this, trying to break it down, but then the body has to produce extra bile. The bile is what breaks down the meat. But in doing so, it brings forth that aggravation.
Yeah, that's why I was some other words.
Yeah.
Is irritability.
Irritability.
Anger.
And
wrath.
And wrath. Now, You know when you look at a baby and they say a baby got cholera or he's cholera, in Jamaica say cholera. The baby just sitting there crying and screaming because there's something going on in their body with this bile. But see, that excess eating, I'm showing you how the food affects the body. Think about when you hit a salad and then 3 hours later you're hungry. Right. And you're like, damn, I didn't even feel my body digest that. But you're like, damn, I'm hungry. And you can eat a bowl of salad this big, eat it, you'll be full, but then instantly you'll start to feel relief. You might pass a little gas here and there, a burp, right? Yeah. But you don't feel as heavy and weighed down as if you ate a 20-ounce T-bone or 5 of them. But then think about when you go to sleep on that. It takes double the time to digest meat. So if you're talking about a 24-hour, or it's supposed to be 4 hours for us to digest our food, right? We digest at the same rate as a pig. It's 4 hours to digest. Remember when you ate, you gotta wait 30 minutes before you went into the pool? Because they say it took 30 minutes to digest, but it's really 4 hours to digest just salads and things like that. But then when you throw all these other foreign entities like high fructose and yellow 5 and blue Nile and blue this and blue 10, red 40, your body is like, nigga, what is this?
Oh. The preservatives. The preservatives, what they, I went to a seminar a few years back on that. They're saying like the preservatives, what it does, like it's to preserve the food, but what it's also doing is trying to preserve you on the inside. Like it hardens your organs so that they're not working the same. So it's harder for them to do their job.
That's what high cholesterol is. Your veins, your blood vessels shrink. They shrink, and then now they're trying to push the blood through a smaller artery. Then your heart has to work harder. The harder your heart has to work, the more stress. The more stress, that's when you get a shutdown of a ventricle, heart attack, right? Or maybe 2. So high cholesterol comes from preservatives, all them salts, all those foreign things that go into your body. Your body don't recognize high fructose corn syrup. It's like, well, we don't know what that is. Store them as fat. Put them in the unknown pile, right? But it just turns into fat and fat, but a different type of fat that your body won't use that fat reserve to burn off if there's no energy. It'll keep storing that high fructose fat, and you're wondering like, damn, how come I can't lose the stomach? Nigga, I've been jogging. I've been running. How come I can't? Well, because that high fructose keeps getting stored.
That's that stubborn. It's that stubborn fat.
Yeah.
You know, my pops was a big guy at one time, and he became a vegetarian. While he was vegetarian, he got big too. He lost weight, but then got big again from being a vegetarian. But the odd thing about it is, when he wanted to work out and actually start to lose weight, it just fell off. It wasn't a fight or a struggle for it to come off, because it wasn't that stubborn fat. The body was actually using that fat when it needed it, versus like how he was saying how it was thrown into that other pile in the fat, and then when the body wants to access that energy, it's not able to. When you're having that vegetarian lifestyle, your body is more willing to access that energy versus when you're having the preservatives, the artificial stuff in your body.
And remember, we're not saying that meat is wicked. We're saying that the overindulgence of meat is what brings sickness. And if you're already sick, he that is weak eateth herbs. Read on.
By
surfeiting.
By surfeiting.
Overindulging, overeating, overdoing it, lack of moderation.
I got another definition for that.
What you got?
Surfeiting, an overabundance, supply excess.
Right, excess.
And intemperate or immoderate, indulgent in something such as food or drink.
That's why I'm going to read Ecclesiastes chapter 31 and verse 22 one more time. My son, hear me, despise me not. At the last thou shalt find as I told thee. In all thy works be quick, be moderate. So shall there no sickness come unto thee. It says by surfeiting, read on.
By surfeiting have many perished.
They have what?
Many perished.
Wait, so you mean to tell me that by overdoing it, I can perish? Well, that's what the Bible is saying. Go ahead.
But he that taketh heed.
He that does what?
Taketh heed.
Come on.
Prolongeth his life.
Right. You take heed. He said you will see as I told you. This is how you prolong life, man. Go to 2 Ezra 14.
Gone.
So you got to think about it. You eat, and then you start to bring on this sickness onto yourself. And then now what happens? The body is already gone. The body is gone. So now what happens? What starts to follow? The mind. 2nd Ezra 14:15.
2nd Ezra chapter 14 verse 15. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto thee.
Go ahead.
And haste thee to flee from these times.
Right, so the scripture is saying set aside the thoughts that are most heavy unto us, because people, what do? They have these heavy thoughts on them and they overeat. Remember Fat Bastard from Austin Powers? He's like, I eat because I'm fat, and I'm fat because I eat.
Yeah.
I eat because I'm fat because I eat, right? It's like that catch-22 where you put yourself in this cycle of, well, I got heavy thoughts on me, so I eat. I try to eat that away. What they tell you to do? Get a gallon of ice cream and cry in front of Sleepers in Seattle. Or get all the biggest Olivia Pope wine glass and suck that down. Or popcorn. Or some type of fast food. Just, oh, he broke up with me? Let me just eat a bunch of pizza. Oh, man, she left me? Now I'm going to just go on a drinking binge. Right? So those heavy thoughts weigh you down, but then you remedy the thoughts with the wrong remedy. Go to Ecclesiastes 38 and verse 18. Ecclesiastes 38 and verse 18.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 18.
Go ahead.
For of heaviness cometh death.
You see that? So with heaviness of the mind, heaviness of the spirit, comes death. That heaviness comes because of our health, man. We do things that are like when the body is out of whack, and when you know it. Like me, I'm not in no heaviness because I can't run up and down the damn court. Listen, I ain't sweating it that much. You know what I'm saying? As long as I can move around without aches and pains, as long as my body feels sound and strong, to be able to sit here for 3 hours, 4 days a week, and then go street teach for a couple of more hours and do the cable show and do this and do that, and then move around with my son. As long as my body is sound in that way, I'm fine. There is no head, a knee problem, man, I'll get over it. I'm not going to let that weigh down my mind to the point where I want to just commit suicide because my knee hurts. But some people get there. And I'm not going to eat myself or try to eat my way out of a knee problem or eat my way out of an ache and pain. Like, just eat it away with bad food. Oh, yeah, just a whole box of Little Caesars. I know some of y'all in here could go through like 3 boxes of Little Caesars, man. Don't front. 3 boxes of cheese, right? You can knock down three boxes and not even burp, not even sneeze, bro. You just hit it, bam. 2.5 boxes gone. Like what? Yeah. But a lot of us eat through depression, through heaviness of spirit. It says, "For heaviness cometh death." Go ahead.
Same verse.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 18. For of heaviness cometh death, and the heaviness of the heart breaketh strength.
See that? And the heaviness of your mind, that's what breaks down your strength. Go to Philippians 2 and verse 25. Philippians chapter 2 and verse 25. I'm going too fast, let me know, but I'm trying to get through this. Go ahead.
Philippians chapter 2, verse 25. Yet I suppose it necessary to send to you.
His name is Epaphroditus.
My brother,
go ahead,
and companion in labor, and fellow soldier.
Read.
But your messenger, and he that ministered to my wants.
Come on.
For he longed after you all.
Check this out. Read.
And was full of heaviness.
Why was he full of heaviness? Read.
Because that ye had heard that he had been sick.
See, he was sick. He was a sick man. He let that sickness, whatever it was, he didn't go into it, but he let that sickness weigh him down. Go ahead.
For indeed he was sick nigh unto death.
What?
Sick nigh unto death.
Right. See, And some of us have these physical ailments. And listen, like a hurt knee ain't gonna make you die. But guess what? Overeating will. Surfeiting will. Over drinking will. An overindulgence in wickedness or any wickedness will kill you.
In my psych class, we're saying that being angry all the time and being hostile causes heart attacks.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you know how much energy it takes to be upset and to be mad? It takes a lot of energy to fix your face in a certain way where you just look upset or where you are upset. You literally, when they say get the monkey off your back, get the monkey off your shoulders, that grudge, when it says bear a grudge against your brother. You're literally lifting something up and it's on you. You feel heavy and weighed down. Yeah, it's gonna cause you a heart attack because now you're trying to work for two. You're working for that heavy demon on you and for yourself. Your heart can't pump that. Your shoulders can't bear that, man. So you're working double time. Heart just always racing, always quick to get angry. Anger rests in the bosom of a fool. It's here. Right on his heart. And that heart is pumping, trying to keep up. When you get angry, man, y'all know, flight or fight. It pumps that blood to where it gotta go, but imagine constantly being in that mode. You will get a heart attack. You're gonna get a stroke, heart attack, you're gonna blow a valve. All those things happen.
Oh, but again, just to reiterate, it all starts in the spirit first. Where's your spirit at? Where's your mind at? What are you cleansing yourself? Are you purging yourself spiritually from these demons that are jumping on you? Your thought process, the ways of the world, the woos of the world. Are you getting that out of your mind so that it can reflect in your physical? Because the spirit influences the physical.
It should. It should. The spirit should influence. That's why I say my body can't win. My knee ain't gonna win over my mind. I'm gonna go to the gym tomorrow and do legs. Nigga, you gonna get this. You gonna get this leg workout. Bro, I'm gonna get you in order. That's just where I'm at. I don't care. Or if I can't do legs, I'm gonna do something else. But I ain't just gonna sit at home because my knee hurts. But I'm not gonna go work it to the point where now I'm injured and woe is me, limping around like damn. I'm gonna be moderate. That's why I said surfeiting has killed many. We gotta be moderate in everything.
Same verse.
Finish where you at.
But the Most High had mercy on him.
Go ahead.
And not on him only, but on me also.
Right. So he said he was sick unto death. Go to Ecclesiastes 30 and 17. Ecclesiastes 30 and verse 17.
Ecclesiastes chapter 30, verse 17. Death is better than a bitter life.
Ooh, you see that? Because where does the bitterness come from? Read.
Or a continual sickness.
Yeah, man. That's where that bitterness comes from. That continual sickness. It's one sickness after the other. It's one ailment after the other. You know, it'd be one thing, man, if one knee failed and the other knee failed and my back went out and my shoulders, and I ain't gonna lie. When we first started playing ball, that's how it was. I was like Mr. Glass. I had a shoulder go out, then another shoulder. I was like, wow. Then this knee swelled up, then this knee swelled up. I was like, oh no. This ain't right. It was, and I ain't gonna lie, it did start to weigh on me a little bit. I was like, man, this is terrible. But just slowly, doing the right things, giving my body the right foods, research, looking things up, listening to counsel, get massage, cold water. I take cold showers. I don't take hot baths no more or hot showers. I take cold. It's better for your body. It's better for your skin. All that hot ass water, you burn your skin up. You know, a lot of y'all, y'all get some of them bumps and you're trying to figure out what it is. They call them heat bumps. That's hot water torching you. So I take cool showers, especially now. You wonder why you sweat when you get out the shower? Because your body is trying to compensate and cool you down from the hot shower you just took in 90-degree weather.
The morning you take that cold shower after a good workout or something?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It closes the pores so you don't sweat. And it's better for your skin, a cooler shower.
I was gonna say I took that advice of what he was talking about, but it wasn't in the morning, it was at night. But I actually soaked my body in hot water first.
Right.
needless to say that didn't all pan out exactly the way I wanted it to, but I took that cold shower afterwards, and it felt extremely different because I remember him
you feel it, that cold shower does. Heat and cold do something for the muscles. They do different things.
Yeah.
But if you have inflammation, in the joints, you don't want to do extreme heat because what it's going to do is going to help the inflammation to rise. Mm-hmm. So that's why that cold is good for the muscles too, because it's going to help you not cramp up. Take ice baths. If you know, a lot of athletes, you'll see them do that. They'll go in the locker room, they'll jump right in the ice tub.
Oh, I used to do that.
Kills that soreness. See, when I was young, I didn't get sore. When I was young, I didn't stretch and I didn't get sore. I was a machine. Bro, I literally would run into cars and put dents in cars. It was crazy. My body was a machine. But now,
He was a juggernaut.
now man, if I don't hit the right amount of ounces in water, I'd be up here like, right? Like the other day, I caught a little mile. Yeah, I was like, oh, whoa, hold on. I moved my toe wrong and start cramping up. I was young. Come on, man. When you're young, but see, when you're young, you don't think about these things. They used to tell you, oh, you got to stretch. I'm like, nigga, stretch. Take off my hoodie.
Right. Jump on the court.
We playing ball.
Right.
I ain't stretching a damn thing. Right? Or we playing football or whatever it was, baseball, whatever it was. We didn't stretch.
Instant
Yeah, you was instant. Right. When you was young, you was instant.
God.
But see, now I'm feeling the repercussions of that now where I got to stretch just to get out of bed. I got to lay there for a minute, think, like, okay, if I move this body part wrong, what am I going to pull? Let me lay here real quick and make sure everything is functioning.
Yes, sir.
And I get up, I do a little toe stretch, hamstrings, get the legs right, and then I'm like, okay, let me pop up. I can't just pop out of bed no more and just move around. I got to stretch real quick in the bed. It's terrible. But that's when you start getting a little older, when you get aged, that's what happened. Go to read that one more time and go to Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 14.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 30, verse 17.
Go ahead.
Death is better than a bitter life,
right?
Or continual sickness.
Yeah, man, because that's how I be feeling when you in that constant sick mode. You be wishing like, man, just take this sickness from me, just kill me, and just let me not feel the pain of this. It's constant. It's irritating. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 9:14, because then now this is what happens. Read.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 14. For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable.
Right.
And our devices are but uncertain.
Yeah, man. Our thoughts, the things that we think about, it brings us into misery. They are miserable. And then what we try to remedy our thoughts with, it says the devices are yet uncertain. Because again, we try to remedy our thoughts with, or our ailments of the mind with food, alcohol, drugs, sex, and overindulgence of all of these things. No matter what. You might be going through something and you say, like, man, let me eat some chocolate. Next thing you know, you eat a whole pound of chocolate. Now what you got? Stomach ache and bad teeth. Let me drink. You said what?
Acne.
And acne, and then you go diagnose diabetes. Not that the chocolate did it, but all the other bad eating on top of that chocolate did it. See, it weighs down. It weighs down the mind. Go ahead, read verse 15.
For the corruptible body.
You see, now that your body is corrupted through all the bad eating, what happens?
Press it down the soul.
It does what?
Press it down the soul.
Yeah, now you're a little bit overweight, now you're self-conscious. Now you're a little bit pressed down because your knees ain't working the right way, now you can't move the way you want. You gotta see it. You gotta really look at your own health and say, damn, morph all the way back to when you were in your 20s. And if you're in your 20s now and you in good health, be in good health. But mighty morph all the way back to when you was in the best shape of your life.
Yep.
Where you felt like you was indestructible.
Yep.
Nothing could stop you.
Yep.
Yeah. Think about how free from any burden that way you were from. You were free from the burdens of my body. If I move this right, if I move wrong. Like this man, he gotta stand up straight all the time.
Yes,
Got bad back. I'd be scared for him, like, no, don't pick that up. No, don't bend that way. But every time he makes a bend, he gotta be what? You gotta be mindful to go tie a shoe. Think about having to think about tying your shoe. But if I bend the wrong way, my whole back might fall out.
That's real.
But even me, I'm like, man, if I bend my knee the wrong way, I might just be ended up crippled on the floor. I might stretch my hand out and there was no man to Go ahead, read on. Go ahead, read on.
And the earthly tabernacle weighed down the mind.
You see that? And then the earthly tabernacle, it's a back and forth. But it says the earthly tabernacle weighs down your mind. Go ahead.
That museth upon many things.
Because now your mind is on everything. How do I get better? But I don't want to do the things that it takes to get better. So I'm gonna eat this Snickers. I know I should be eating the salad, but damn, I don't feel like cutting it. I know I shouldn't eat the Whataburger, but man, it just smells so good. It's so scrumptious. All your body, man, the things we put in our body, it weighs down the mind if it ain't the right things. What's up?
I'm just thinking
He
about
wants to testify.
Yeah, I got to. No, so the other day we was all working together, me, Jermaine, and Shathak, and a brother from Build-A-Bear, right, came over with like this box of Cinnabons, and he was just like, man, they fresh, you know, y'all can have as many as y'all want, you know what I mean? And like that's like my kryptonite, like sugar, like, but you know, I decided to fast from it, but it was right there, and I'm like, I'm just gonna walk to the other side. I'm not gonna even just pay attention.
You hit one, didn't you?
No,
I did it.
Bro,
a faithful man.
But look, Shathak,
guess what? Let it out.
No, wait. Shathak's customer brought him a homemade pound cake.
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
Oh, I see her
man, I'm really being tempted right now, but I just blotted it out.
Bro,
that was like, that was heavy on my mind.
Did she ever bring one for me?
Man, I said, oh, dang, this pound cake is so good.
Bro, her pound cakes, she made me a pound cake. This is a customer from the mall. She made me a pound cake. She brought it to me the day that Hurricane Harvey hit. Bro, I was in that mall eating pound cakes and cookies. Oh my God, that pound cake, she did lemon pound cake for me. I love lemon pound cake. Bro, that pound cake was so on point. Miss Cheryl.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, it was so moist. It had a nice crust on the end.
Oh, she was telling me she was dropping her secrets to me.
Oh, I'm mad she brought you a pound cake, bro. I didn't even think about that. I don't need that though. Like even with Cinnabon. Listen, back in Colorado, when we had the oil cart in Colorado, we were right next to a Cinnabon. They used to drop off like stacks of Cinnabon to the cart. Bro, I'd eat 2-3 Cinnabons at a time. And then wash it down with a Coke. I would get, you know, like I didn't think it was a thing, but I would get sugar high.
Right.
I get lightheaded, like I sit in the car like a crackhead, like. Like, oh my God, like, that's hilarious. That's how I was young though. When I was young, when you're young, you're like, it's just a bunch of sugar. Yeah. Drink a bunch more sugar to wash it down.
Right.
Bro, I can barely hit a half a Cinnabon now. If I do go get a Cinnabon, give me the small bites. Or it gotta be that I know I'm not hitting sugar. Y'all ever watch them make a Cinnabon? Y'all ever watch them make a Cinnabon? They use a pound of butter and a pound of sugar. They use the whole pound, and then to confirm, I was in Baybrook the other day and I asked, I said, do y'all really use a pound of sugar for each set of rolls? She said, yeah, we use the whole pound. You know the pound you go get of, that pound, the bag. They use the whole bag for like your little 12 rolls. Why do they taste so good? Bruh. And they use sticks, like a pound of butter. Smear it in there. You ever get, like, the good thing about Cinnabons, you can sit there and watch them make it and then be disgusted, but then you'll still order it because when they bake it and throw the icing on, it smells so good. Yeah. And then you do the caramel cinnamon bun or caramel pecan bun with the caramel and the regular cinnamon and the roasted pecans. And if you want to get real stupid, you sprinkle some sprinkles.
Dang. But the pecans, those are healthy though, right?
No, because they're sugar glazed.
But the pecan, the nut is healthy.
Pecan. Yeah, bro. I used to get it in with the Cinnabon. Every mall I used to go to, it didn't matter if I was out of state, I'd have to go to Cinnabon and get 2 of those boys just to test them out. I have a method of even the way you cut the Cinnabon.
Yeah,
get them,
you taught me.
Right. You cut them in a boom.
And it's easier.
Stick your fork right in there, and in the top, your knife in the top. You just pull piece by piece. Stop it.
That's more knowledge of wickedness.
But yeah, knowledge of wickedness is not wisdom. But bro, them Cinnabons, that's what got our people. Bro, if you sit back and watch what our people go to the mall for, they walk out of there with bags of Sarku, a gang of Cinnabons, Wetzel pretzels, Aunt Annie's, all sugar and flour and starch, and then they overeat it. Like, how much Sarku do you need? I'm on lunch break, but you about to get 3 Sarku dinners? Come on, man. That is nasty if you saving it for later. Because by the time you open it up later, it's gray. It look like it look like this microphone. The meat looks like this. The meat turns gray. Oh yeah. Go get you some of that Chinese food in the mall and let that sit for 2-3 hours and come back to that. Everything turns one color and one smell. It ain't no good.
Thanks.
It ain't no good, man. Read Wisdom of Solomon 9:14 one more time. I know we having a little fun with this, but we really we definitely gotta think about the food that we intake more serious, because now that we get into this part, we're gonna see how it really affects our spirit. Read.
For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain.
Come on.
For the corruptible body presses down the soul,
right?
And the earthly tabernacle weighed down the mind that museth upon many things.
Right, and one of those many things is when your body starts to get afflicted. One of those many things is Satan plays with you and tells you to separate yourself. We're dealing with the mental sicknesses, where Satan, he tells you to separate. Why? Because I don't want nobody to see what I'm eating. No. Brothers keep telling me to eat right. Brothers keep checking me, but guess what? I'm gonna be a closet eater. Or I'm gonna be a closet drunk. I'm gonna sit in the gas station bathroom and drink a 4 Loko, 2 of them. Or I'm gonna hide what I eat. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make sure that brothers don't see. I'm gonna do things in secret. Go to Ecclesiastes 5:17. So you separate yourself to fulfill. You separate yourself to fulfill that lust, to fulfill that overindulgence, or just to do the things that you know your body don't need. Ecclesiastes in the Bible. Salakia. Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 5 and verse 17. Somebody else get Proverbs 18:1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 17.
Read Proverbs 18:1.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Through desire, amen. Through desire, amen. Having separated himself, seeketh and intermeddleth with all wisdom.
Right. So it says through a desire, a man having separated himself. Now this desire is not good desire. Like, oh, I'm separating myself from the Lord. No, he's separating himself to fulfill his desires. So now that my body has weighed me down in the mind, and my mind has been weakened, there's no longer no fight. There's no longer no will to push forward and get better. So I'm gonna just give in. But I have to, in order to give in, I gotta separate. I gotta be over here doing this, and y'all don't see me. Now go to Ecclesiastes 5:17. What is he separating to do? Go ahead.
All his days also he eateth in darkness.
He does what?
Eateth in darkness.
Read.
And he hath much sorrow.
He has much what?
Sorrow.
Come on.
And wrath with his sickness.
You see that? You eat in darkness, man. You separate yourself. Now you got sorrow and sickness even more. Ecclesiastes 5:17. Go to Ecclesiastes 4:9. But we know, and how do we know it's a sickness? Because Ecclesiastes 4:9 is going to tell us. Read.
2 are.
Yep.
2 are better than 1.
Come on.
Because they have a good reward for their labor.
Read verse 10.
For if they fall, the one will lift up
you see
fellow.
That? If they fall, somebody's going to be there to lift each other up. But when you separated trying to fulfill your own desires, Who's going to be there to say, hey, no, put the burger down. No, put down the fries that are extra smothered. No, put down, all the cheesecake. Put down the Cinnabon. Who's going to be there to push that mind? Nobody. So you're just going to be rolling in that spirit of, I give up. You're going to be loathing. Right? Like David said, I had loath in my bowels, my loins was a loathsome disease. Mm-hmm. That's what's going to happen, man. It's going to be woe is me. Woe is me, because there's no one there to help me out of the destruction. There's no one there to say, hey, nah, bro, you don't need that. McDonald's, McDonald's, you shouldn't even want McDonald's if you had to pick fast food. That should be last on your list. It's things like that where a man or woman will separate. Y'all know the kids, man, they separate themselves. Next thing you know, they quiet as hell. It's like, why is Noah so quiet? Look around, found the stashed candy, whole bag gone. Like, bro, really? Whole bag of Lifesavers just gone. You can't have nothing with Noah. Bruh, man, this dude, I remember one time I went to go get some salad, and I like to put croutons. When I went to go get the croutons, the whole bag of croutons was 8. Like somebody ate like it was chips. I said, bro, who ate all the croutons? He's like, that was me, Dad. I was like, why? He's like, they're like chips. Like, come on, son. He climbed up the counters. He climbed up the pantry and got them. He's only this tall. He climbed up. I put things high. He climbed up and got the croutons, got the Lifesavers. I'm like, wow, bro, nothing could be hit from this guy. But when he's quiet, and it's like, where's he at? And you walk in like, hey, Dad, what's going on? He actually, oh my God, this dude be on the hey, Dad, what's going on tip now. I'm like, man, what you doing? And he's like, oh, nothing. I'm like, what you got in your hand? Oh, just some candy. Yeah, where'd you get that from? Oh, my mom's purse. You really think that he's trying to get over it? Did she say you can have it? Well, she said I can have it. She said I can have it yesterday. That's how he tries to get me. Damn. That's how he tries to, but he separates himself from everybody else so he can intermingle with these bad foods, with this candy. But it's no different than a grown man that, hey, we all getting together? Nah, I'm good. Or hey, let's go out to eat. Nah, I don't want to go out to eat. Because the brother you're going to go out to eat with is going to hit you with a salad. But you want to sit at home and eat steaks and carbs and bad things that you don't need. Y'all see that? What's another thing where it said, go back to Wisdom of Solomon 9:14. It said the mind that museth upon many things. Now, what's another thing that, I'll just give it to y'all. Another spiritual sickness is pride. Go to Ecclesiasticus 18 and verse 20.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 18, verse 20.
Go ahead.
Before judgment, examine thyself.
He said do what?
Before judgment, examine thyself.
And you know what? That judgment comes in the form of sickness. That judgment comes in the form of sickness, man. Read.
And in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy.
Right. If you do this, read.
Humble thyself before thou be sick.
See, you gotta humble yourself before you be sick, spiritually and physically. Hey, we all eating healthy. Well, I don't gotta eat healthy. I'm good, but we should do it because of good practice. You want to get your body. Well, nah, I'm good. I'm a machine. That's how I was when I was young. Man, I eat a double Whopper, fish sandwich, a milkshake, fries, and then go play ball literally 5 minutes after. The amount of time it took me to tie my shoes, I was on that court balling. After eating all that food, the average person would just vomit on the spot. I was out there. I was literally, my body processed food so fast. I was 160 pounds soaking wet, a twig. That's what happens when you're young. You start getting older, things start hitting you, life, right? You start getting that good eating, start getting that weight. You're like, wait a minute, I can't get this off. Well, metabolism wasn't what it used to be.
No, sir. Relationships too.
Yeah, but all that stress, but that's what the corruptible mind weighs down the body. Or the corruptible body weighs down the mind. Excuse me. But it's a vice versa. It's a thing that they both go hand in hand. Finish it up.
Come. Verse 21. Humble thyself before thou be sick. And in the time of sins, shew repentance.
Show repentance. Humble thyself before thou be sick. Pride will go before destruction. That sickness is going to come in the form of destruction, man. Go to 2 Maccabees 9 and verse 1. Humorous little story for y'all. Humorous little story for y'all. This is a good one. Just about that pride, man. Go to 2 Maccabees 9 verse 1. Read that.
2 Maccabees chapter 9 verse 1. About that time came Antiochus with dishonor out of the country of Persia, for he had entered the city called Persepolis, and went about to rob the temple and to hold the city, whereupon the multitude running to defend themselves with their weapons put them to flight. And so it happened that Antiochus, being put to flight of the inhabitants, returned with shame.
Right, so Antiochus was upset. He was shameful that he was ran off by this other country. And then when you read in the previous chapter, you have these other two rulers. They were ran off by the Hebrews. They were ran out of Israel, ran out of Jerusalem, ran away from the temple. So they all three were pissed off that they was getting ran around by these smaller nations. Go ahead.
Now, when he came to Ecbatane, news was brought him what had happened unto Nicanor and Timotheus.
Right, to Timotheus, because they were ran off by Judas Maccabeus. They were ran away from the temple, ran out of Israel. They beat 20,000 men with 9,000 men. So they were pissed off, man. Go ahead.
Then, swelling with anger.
Swelling with what?
Swelling with anger.
So he was angry. Go ahead.
He thought to avenge upon the Jews.
And he was vengeful. Go ahead.
The disgrace done unto him by those that made him flee.
Come on.
Therefore commanded he his chariot man to drive without ceasing.
Come on, read.
And to dispatch the journey. The judgment of God now following him. For he had spoken proudly in this sort.
Pride. So you got anger, revenge, and pride. Read.
That he would come to Jerusalem and make it a common burying place of the Jews.
Read.
But the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel, smote him with an incurable and invisible plague.
Read.
For as soon as he had spoken these words, a pain of the bowels that was remediless came upon him.
Yeah, he got that pain of the bowels, man. Go ahead.
And
there was no Pepto-Bismol for this.
And sore torments of the inner parts.
Ooh, read on.
And that most justly, for he had tormented other men's bowels with many and strange torments.
Come on.
Howbeit, he nothing at all ceased from his bragging.
Yeah, no matter what. With all the pain and all the suffering going on in his bowels, he didn't cease from his pride, man. From his revenge, from his anger. Go ahead.
But still was filled with pride.
You see that? So go ahead.
Breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews.
So he went to rage level. Go ahead.
And commanding to haste the journey. But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall at the members of his body were much pain.
Right?
And
all the members of his body were much pain. He fell off his chariot and busted up his whole body. Go ahead.
And thus he that a little aforethought he might command the waves of the sea. So proud was he beyond the condition of man.
So he was so prideful he thought he could command the waves of the sea. That's how prideful this cat was. Read. He said he was beyond the condition of any man. Read.
And weigh the high mountains in a balance.
Oh, he could weigh the mountains. Come on.
Was now cast on the ground.
Now he was just cast out like nothing. Read.
And carried in an horse litter.
Whoa. He was what?
Carried in an horse litter.
Come on.
Shewing forth unto all the manifest power of God.
Come on.
so that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man.
You see the sickness of the Most High put on him? Read.
And whilst he lived in sorrow and pain.
He lived in what?
Lived in sorrow and pain.
Read.
His flesh fell away.
All because of pride, anger, and that vengeful spirit. Read.
And the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all his army.
Bro, he smelled so bad. Those putrefying sores. It said it was noisome. How is a smell noisy? You know when you say you got that loud? Right? They talk about that nasty smelling weed. I got that loud. This nigga smelled loud. Go ahead.
And the man that thought a little afore he could reach to the stars of heaven. No man could endure to carry for his intolerable stink.
Bro, this dude thought he could touch the heavens and nobody wanted to be around him because he stunk so bad. Because of pride, revenge, hate, arrogancy. Go ahead.
Verse 11. Here, therefore, being plagued, he began to leave off his great pride.
He began to do what?
He began to leave off his great pride.
Go ahead.
And to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of God.
Yeah, examine yourself. Go ahead.
His pain increasing every moment.
Read.
And when he himself could not abide his own smell.
Think about that. When you can't even stand your own stench. Think about that. Most High hit him, man. Read.
He said these words.
Read.
It is meet to be subject unto God, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself as if he were God.
Next point.
Verse 13.
No, that's it on that.
Okay.
Y'all get that. I always thought that story was funny. It's funny, but it shows you with pride. That's why he said, humble thyself before thou be sick. The Most High will send a plague on you, bro. He will send a plague on you. That it says it was invisible and incurable. It's like, man, how did I get lung disease? Well, Most High, humble thyself. I didn't smoke. I didn't this. How did I get this cancer? Well, I never smoked. I never was around radiation. Most High, humble thyself before thou be sick. He got more than the bubble guts. So he had to be carried in the horse litter. He smelled so bad he had to be carried in the horse litter where the horses poop. And then he had worms and flesh falling from his body. Think about that. He had worms coming from his skin and flesh falling off. Bro, he was dead.
Maggots coming out
already. He was dead, bro. Most High blasted that cat, Antiochus. I love that story. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 7 and verse 8. So another spiritual sickness is fear, man. Fear, doubt. So we got pride, we got anger. We hit pride, anger, and revenge all in one story. So if you thought it was good to be prideful or revengeful or hateful, you gotta kill that. Most High will send those plagues. Remember, our sin is our sickness. Fear, Wisdom of Solomon 7 and verse 8.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, verse 8. I preferred her before.
Wisdom of Solomon 17 and 8. Salakia. 17 and verse 8. Now this story goes into the story where Solomon goes in about the darkness in Egypt. So we're just going to hit a few scriptures on it. But he goes in about that. Remember when he said the plague of the darkness? God. Solomon, when you read Wisdom of Solomon 17, he goes in depth into that darkness. He said it was a sore darkness that you could feel. It was so dark, even fire couldn't illuminate it. That's how dark it was. But check this out. Read 17 and 8.
God, for they that promised to drive away terror and troubles from a sick soul.
Go ahead.
Were sick themselves of fear.
They were sick with what?
Fear.
Go ahead.
Worthy to be laughed at.
Jump to verse 12.
Verse 12. For fear is nothing else but a betraying of the secures which reason offers.
See, fear is nothing but the betraying of your secures. Now, we know our secure is supposed to be the Most High, the wisdom. So when you're fearful, you betray the knowledge. You betray the wisdom. But think about it. He said they themselves were sick of fear. They were the ones that, it was talking about these magicians in the time of the darkness. They were supposed to be doing magic to try to help the ones that were fearful and give them light. But they were so scared, they couldn't even be a help. You see that? Read verse 13.
And the
expectations
from within being less.
See, the expectation from within is that hope that you're supposed to have. The scriptures say hope for the good, not hope for the not silver lining, or I'm melancholy. What's the I'm a pessimist, protagonist, pessimistic. Like nothing. How do they think? Like nothing's ever good, right? I'm pessimistic. No, the Bible says hope for the good, but it says, and the expectation from within being less. They weren't hoping for the good, man. They were like, damn, we don't know what's going to happen. We're going to die here. Go ahead.
Counteth the ignorance more.
Counteth the ignorance. Go ahead.
Counteth the ignorance more than the cause which bringeth the torment.
You see that? Because their expectations in hope and in faith were so low, it said it counted that more of an ignorance. That was more their detriment than the actual fear that was there. Than the actual thing that was supposed to cause them the torment. That was their downfall. The fact that they had no hope. That caused more suffering than the actual thing that was supposed, than the darkness. Y'all see that? Y'all see how, like, the things that we fear is really our lack of faith and our lack of hope that kills us, not really the thing that we fear? That's what it's talking about. Go to 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. Somebody else get Romans 14 and verse 23. These are these mental sicknesses that hold us back. The body is one thing, but then when you let the body take over, it's going to weigh you down in the spirit and vice versa. So if one is wrong, if the head is sick, the whole body is going to be sick. If there's doubt, if sickness is a doubt, and there's doubt in you, the body ain't going to be whole, man. The body ain't going to be sound. Read 2 Timothy 1 and verse 7.
2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7.
Go ahead.
For the Most High hath not given us the spirit of fear.
He didn't give us a spirit of fear. So why are you fearful? Why you let that demon hold on to you and drown the faith out of you? Why you let that demon suck your faith? The Most High didn't give us that spirit. So where did it come from? It came from your insecurities. It came from your doubt. Go ahead.
But of power.
But of what?
Of power.
Read.
And of love.
Read.
And of a sound mind.
He gave us a what?
Sound mind.
See, here it goes again. He gave us that health. That soundness of mind. Go to Romans 14:23. Somebody else get Matthews 9 and 20.
Romans chapter 14, verse 23.
Go ahead.
And he that doubteth is damned if he eat.
Read.
Because he eateth not of faith.
Remember when it said that when you eat the body of Christ and drink his blood, if you drink it unworthily, it goes right back to this. When you eat it unworthily in that doubt, in that fear, and not of faith, is what? Read.
For whatsoever is not of faith is sin.
It's what?
Sin.
You see why many amongst us are sickly and sleep? Because of that sin. It's coming right back full circle. Go to Matthews 9 and verse 20. If you didn't believe that faith is the way to go, check this out. Matthew chapter 9 verse 20 to 22.
Matthew chapter 9 verse 20. And behold, a woman which was diseased with an issue of blood 12 years.
So this lady had a 12-year sickness. Go ahead. But in her mind, she wasn't on that. It's better for me to die. How do we know? Read on.
Came behind him and touched the hem of his garment.
So she came behind Yahushua and touched the hem of his garment. Go ahead.
For she said within herself.
She said it where?
Within herself.
Go ahead.
If I may but touch his garment.
If thou have the faith, have it to yourself and the Most High. That's Romans 14 and verse 21. Go ahead.
I shall be whole.
I shall be what?
Behold.
Go ahead, read verse 22.
But Yahushua turned him about. And when he saw her, he said, Daughter, be
made thee whole.
Thy what?
Thy faith hath made thee whole.
Right, so just like how faith can make you whole, doubt can break you apart. Doubt can make you sick. Go ahead.
Come on. And the woman was made whole from that hour.
Ecclesiastes 2 and verse 13. Ecclesiastes chapter 2 and verse 13.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. Slot. Ecclesiasticus chapter 2 verse 13.
Read.
Whoso feareth the Most High.
2 and 13.
Ecclesiasticus 2 and 13. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted.
See that? Woe unto him that is faint in the heart, faint in the mind, weak in the mind. Go ahead.
For he believeth not.
For he what?
Believeth not.
Yeah, it's destruction. You eating unworthily, man. The sicknesses and plagues is going to hit you. Read.
Therefore shall he not be defended.
Yeah, when the Most High visits you, when he said when the time of visitation, the Most High will have mercy. But see, you ain't going to be defended from the sicknesses. The Most High is going to let them take hold. Those demons, they're going to take hold. The physical sicknesses are going to take hold. All those leeches and parasites are going to grab on because of that double mind. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience.
Come on.
And what will ye do when the Most High shall visit you?
What are we going to do, man? If that double mind is in you, that lack of faith, that doubt, the Most High said he's not going to defend that person. He's going to let those sicknesses take hold. And it's simple. Because you're going to doubt the wisdom. That's all it is. You're going to doubt the counsel. You're going to go back and you're going to, oh, the brother said do this, this, and this. Okay, come. Let me try it for 5 seconds. Oh, no, it ain't working. Let me do my own thing. Then you're going to wonder why you're getting hit with sicknesses. Because you doubted the counsel. You doubted the method. It's simple. It ain't no rocket science. It ain't no rocket science. It's simple, like just following counsel and letting it come to fruition. Or following counsel for 5 seconds just to say you followed it and then you still reap the repercussions of not following the counsel. Simple as that. Go to Matthew 4:23. And you know, this class could have went a lot broader, but I try to narrow it down to these few different things. So now let's check and see. Let's look. What did Christ heal? It said Christ came and he healed people. But what was he healing really? Was it just? Was it just the spirit? See, and this is important because then we can see, well, if they were healed, how come I can't be healed? Matthew 4:23.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 23.
Read.
And Yahushua went about all Galilee, teaching in their synagogue,
come on,
and preaching the gospel of the kingdom,
read,
and healing all manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people.
Some sickness?
All manner of disease among the people.
Some disease?
All manner of sickness and all manner of disease among the people.
Read verse 24.
And his fame went throughout all Syria, and they brought unto him all sick people that were taken with diverse diseases and torments.
They had diverse diseases of the body and torments of the mind and of the body. Go ahead.
And those which were possessed with devils.
They were also possessed with devils. Go ahead. So they had demons on them. Read.
And those which were lunatic.
Read.
And those that had the palsy.
Palsy. You know what the palsy is? It's basically they were crippled. They couldn't, like when they said the man had the palsy for 8 years, he took up his bed for 8 years. Bro, he was laid up in the bed. He couldn't walk. Lunatic. When they say you a damn lunatic, you crazy in the head. So they had all these spirits back then. But they said he healed all manner. He didn't, oh, well, the palsy, I can't mess with that because that's too strong for me.
Right.
Oh, he's a lunatic? Nah, I ain't dealing with that. He said he healed them all. Go ahead. And
he healed them.
Read.
And therefore.
Go to Matthew 17:15. Matthew 17 and verse 15.
Matthew chapter 17, verse 15. The Most High have mercy on my son,
Read.
for he is a lunatic
that's Yahweh Shai, because that's who they're talking to.
Come.
Go ahead.
For oft times he falleth into the fire.
You see how these demons possess this son to fall into the fire. Because why? Just like how those food parasites latch onto you and say, go get meat, go get sugar. I have a craving. A craving is just a parasite. How come you never crave salad? How can you never crave healthy food? Fruit. Oh, I got a fruit craving. Why is it always chocolate? Why is it always a fruit dipped in chocolate? Or why is it always ice cream, chocolate ice cream? Or ice cream with chocolate in it? Or something that has chocolate, or some type of weird jalapeno chip? Or how come it's never something healthy? Because that parasite don't want no healthy. It wants high fructose. But check it out though. Just like how these demons, they latch on to you. They don't want you to be healthy either. That's why they let you toss yourself in the fire, drown yourself. Oh, let's go to the club. Let me hang out with this person and get in this problem. Let me hang out with this person. That's demons that's telling you to do it. Just go out to the club, girl. It'll be all right. Just strip for them, girl. It'll be all right. Let them use and abuse you. It'll be all right. Them demons beyond you, tossing you into all these different fires that are around you. All these different trials that are around you. And then drowning you in iniquity, man. Just like this man's son. Read.
Come. Verse 16.
Read verse 15 for oft times.
Come. For oft times he fallen into the fire. And oft into the water.
And he wasn't like falling into the water to go take a bath. He's trying to drown him. Trying to kill this kid. Just like how the demons that be on you try to drag you into calamity. You got to be able to see it. Read verse 16.
And they brought him to thy disciples, and they could not cure him. Then Yahweh Shai answered and said, O faithless and perverse generation.
Wait, why couldn't they heal?
O faithless and perverse generation.
See, the level of faith got to be there to be healed. Go ahead.
How long shall I be with you?
Read.
How long shall I suffer you?
But was it just faith, as we spoke about earlier? Because faith without works is dead. You have to have works behind your healing. Go ahead.
Bring him hither to me. And Yahweh shall rebuke the devil. And he departed out of him. And the child was cured from that very hour.
Mark chapter 5 and verse 1. Mark 5 and verse 1.
Come. Book of Mark, chapter 5, verse 1. And they came over unto the other side of the sea, into the country of the Gardenians. And when he was come out of the ship, immediately there met him out of the tombs a man with an unclean spirit, who had his dwelling among the tombs.
Yeah, you see, this man had demons on him. What did he do? He separated himself. So what was Yahweh Shai going to heal in this man? The fact that he was separated because of the spirits that was on him. He was in the tombs. What sane man is going to be by himself in tombs? But see, a man through his desires separated himself. You see how it works on both ends? Go ahead.
And no man could bind him. No, not with chains.
Because he had them demons on him that made him strong. He had them demons on him that made him of superhuman strength. Go ahead.
Because that he had been often bound with fetters and chains, and the chains had been plucked asunder by him.
Right, read.
And the fetters broken in pieces. Neither could any man tame him.
Come on.
And always, night and day, he was in the mountains and in the tombs, crying and cutting himself with stones.
He was doing what?
Cutting himself with stones.
Yeah, because those demons, they want you to have a memorial of when they infested you. Them demons wanted him to remember that we had you. All those scars and regrets that brothers and sisters carry is because of all the things you let take hold of you and drag you through the mud. Now you can look back. Yeah, I got that scar from that time when I did that. I got that scar from the time I did that. Think about all the scars in your mind, man. All the hurt, pain, and regret. Go ahead.
Verse 6. But when he saw Yahushua afar off, he ran and worshipped him, and cried with a loud voice, and said, What have I to do with thee, Yahushua, thou Son of the Most High?
Go ahead.
I adjure thee by the Most High, that thou torment me not. For he said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit.
Right.
And he asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for we are many. And he besought him.
Right. So this man had many demons on him. He had that demon of separation. He had that demon of harming himself. He had that emotion, crying and howling. He had a lot of demons on him, a lot of spirits, but they were all healed. Now, the question is, do we want to be healed? Because there is a easy method. There's definitely a choice. But you got to ask yourself, you want to walk around heavy and weighed down in the mind and the body? You want to walk around like these cats, cutting yourself and chained up and breaking and having to be separated by yourself? You want to be like that?
Wow.
You want to be like these kid that was tossing himself in fire and trying to drown himself? Because that's what happens spiritually to us when these demons are on us. That's what you're literally doing to yourself. You're drowning yourself and throwing yourselves in fires, putting yourself in positions and in circumstances that we don't need to be in. So, do we want to be healed? Go to James 5:14. That should be the question. And if so, well, how do we go about such? James 5:14. This is one of my favorite scriptures, man.
James chapter 5, verse 14. Is any sick among you?
You know what's crazy? I don't know why. Every time this scripture comes out, or every time I read this, I always think about sisters. I don't know why, but the sisters, man. You know, and I always think about again the regime of what the brothers have to build and root out sickness, and root out discord, and root out pride, and root out hatred. The regime that we have where the sisters don't have the same sort of regime. So I'm always like, man, sisters be sick, but they try to hide it. Sisters be sick as hell, bro. And they act fake, phony, smile, shalom, Yahshua. And it's like, well, you sick. How come you don't want that burden lifted up off you? How come you just don't say what it is? The question is asking. Read it again.
God. Is any sick among you?
Hell yes. Man, woman, and child. Ain't just sisters. Go ahead.
Let him call for the elders.
Let him do what?
Call for the elders.
For the young sister next to me.
For the elders.
For the one that can't help me.
For the elders.
For Jada Pinkett Red Table.
For the elders.
Yeah. Listen, let them call for the elders. Go ahead.
Of the church.
Read.
And let them pray over him.
Let them do what?
Pray over him.
Why was this important? Well, the elders kept a standard. And more than likely, the elders' faith was rooted in the word of Christ. The elders' faith wasn't wavering. The elder wasn't going to pray and not really care and ask half-assedly. The elder was going to put his spirit in it and really give you his experience and give you the wisdom that was needed. Not the young sister next to you, not the brother sitting next to you that's learning just like you, but that'd be the thing that me and Kazaki, we talk about it all the time. We like, why did he go to him for that? Right. Or why did she go to her for that? Like, did she want help or did she want to be further in problems? Because she's going through the same battle she's going through, but they're trying to bounce battles and remedies off of each other. But that's why it says the devices are yet uncertain. Because the devices that you use to try to fix your misery, you try to use the person that's going through misery just like you. And then you get the device of their counsel, and then you use it. You're like, damn, I don't know if I should follow this. Let me try it. But it ain't working. Now you just created yourself a double mind.
God.
Man. Read on.
God. Anointing him with oil in the name of the Most High.
Go to James, hold that. Go to James chapter 1 verse 6.
Book of James, chapter 1 verse 6.
Just like I said, it said let them pray over him. Right?
God.
But how? James 1 and 6. Read.
But let them ask in faith.
Let them do what?
Ask in faith.
They're going to pray over you in faith. Not in wavering, not in double-mindedness, not in, oh, I don't know if the Lord is going to work this time. Go ahead.
Nothing wavering.
Nothing wavering. That's why you call for the elders. Read.
For he wavereth is like a wave of the sea.
For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea. Go ahead.
Driven with the wind and tossed.
Go ahead. Verse 7.
For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of the Most High.
Yeah. That man ain't gonna that man that's praying for you, or that person that pray for me, sister, and they're wavery as hell. Most High ain't hearing that. You're supposed to go get the ones that were unmovable. You're supposed to look at the ones that said, you know what, I count all things as loss for Christ. You gotta look at the ones that's not going through the mental torment that you going through and say, let me go to them to figure out what the hell they got working for them. Go to the ones that apply the wisdom and knowledge. Or else really you don't want to be healed. That's really, when you go to somebody that, when it's like the blind leading the blind. You don't really want to be led nowhere. It's like the dumb teaching the dumb. You don't want to be taught nothing. So when you go to another sick person for your healing, and all they're going to do is wipe their sickness on you, like, yeah, you healed, but all you did was just mix sicknesses. All you did was just mix, you rub together putrefying sores. Oh yeah, let's rub our cuts together. Let's share mucus and pus. Yay! Yay! We're healed. And you got that feel good? You start feeling good? We're healed, yay! But all it is this cut is getting more infected. All you did was rub the stink together, so now you feel like it's less stink. That's all you doing though. It's like you don't want to be healed, man. The Most High gives you the method. He said call for the elders. Call for the experience. Call for the wisdom. Don't go get the ones that's sick with you. They vomited on you. You vomited on them. Y'all are sharing vomit. She's holding your vomit bucket. You're holding hers. That's all she's supposed to do. That's it. But go get the doctor. Go get the doctor that's going to help. That's going to show you why you're vomiting on each other. That's going to get the vomit up out of you. Holding the bucket just ain't enough. That ain't going to fix you. Well, she stopped vomiting because I patted her back. Yeah, okay. You patted her back a little bit, but did you figure out where the sickness was coming from? That's the key. Call for the elders. Read on. Verse 8.
A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Yeah, a double-minded man is fearful as hell. We just read about it. It said the ones that were supposed to heal the sick, they were fearful and were sick from fear. So they couldn't even heal nobody themselves. They were double-minded. So who they gonna heal? Who you gonna heal if you still sick? The kids need to be healed. You got to be the pillar of rest for your husband. Brothers, you got to be the pillar of rest for the camp. But if you walking around vomiting, sick, filthy, stinking from these demons that are making you sick, from bad foods that are making you sick, who you going to be the pillar of rest to? Who you going to be the physician to? It says the whole needeth not a physician but the sick.
That's right.
But if you sick, how can you physician anyone? How can you examine anyone and say, well, this is what you got to do because blah, 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 blah. It's like if I'm up here right now, just sick as hell, dying from some weird food disease, whatever it is, and I'm trying to tell you to be healthy. Some hypocritical BS, man. But the same thing I'm pushing to y'all, I make sure I do it myself. If anything I tell y'all to do on the health tip, I've already tried it. So if it was a colon cleanse, if it was papaya seeds, if it was pineapple juice, if it was juicing for months straight, did it. If it was working out, doing it. One of the reasons why I got rid of that car? To clear my garage. so I can get my weight bench, so I can start using it. It's sitting there. Got the weight bench, the pull-up bar, the dumbbells, the curl bar. Yeah. That was one of the reasons why I got rid of the car. I'm like, I gotta make sure that if I can't go to the gym, that can't be my excuse. Let me work it at the house.
Right. Like get swole on us.
Bruh. No. I'm gonna get sound in the body. I wanna be strong. I don't want that gym swole where it's big as hell and weak. I wanna actually be strong. So, I don't try to do a bunch of heavyweight. I just try to keep my body right, man. That's it. I just don't want to be sore and aches and pains and you move the wrong way and break something. I don't want to be Mr. Glass no more. You feel me? No more. Go back to James 5:15 and we're going to end it up. James 5:15, somebody else get Psalms 107.
James chapter 5 verse 15.
So read verse 14 one more time.
Verse 14. Is any sick among you?
Go ahead.
Let him call for the elders of the church and let him pray over him.
Read.
Anointing him with oil in the name of the Most High.
Right? In the name of some foolishness?
Of the Most High.
See, it was about doing things in the name of the Most High. Not in the name of my emotions. Not in the name of what my mama and them told me. Not in the name of Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. Not in those people's name. Oh, Steve Harvey and them said. The Breakfast Club, them Charlemagne the God. Well, Charlemagne the God said it's okay to eat booty. I don't want to hear that. What does the Bible say? I gotta say that because that's what they be on, and the niggas will run with it like Charlemagne the God said it's okay to eat groceries. I don't see nothing wrong with it. Well, if she's mad at you, just eat the groceries and she'll be okay. Bro. What? Where's the wisdom in that?
These women be listening to Wendy Williams.
All that. Wendy Williams. She'll tell all the women out here to just go out and have sex. Girl, you gotta test the car before you purchase. So she's telling you to be a hoe.
Right.
But see, we'll do things in the name of Wendy Williams and Charlemagne the damn God and Ebro now. Yeah. Right? Some damn Jew. Some fake Jew. We'll do things in the name of him. But it said what?
And let him pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Most High.
Go ahead.
And the prayer of faith shall save the sick.
Wait, the prayer of wavery.
Faith.
Of doubt.
Faith.
Hatefulness.
Faith.
Go ahead.
Shall save the sick.
Read.
And the Most High shall raise him up.
Read on.
And if he have committed sins.
Now, if he had committed sins, here's the doozy. If he had committed sins, you must confess. Read on.
They shall be forgiven him.
Read.
Confess your faults one to another.
Go ahead.
And pray one for another.
See, confess your faults to the elders, man. We ain't gonna use it against you. We ain't gonna tell you a bit like, bro, you know how many councils I've been through and heard all the foolishness? I don't run to my mama and them like, man, the sister, she was, like, nobody's doing that. Like, what, you embarrassed? Like, I'm gonna go tell my mom? Or I'm going to tell somebody outside. Come on, man. We ain't doing that. The whole point is to get the burden up off of you. Release the heaviness so it don't kill you. Get that sin up off your chest. Stop trying to hold on to that. That's what's killing you. Go ahead.
That ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much.
Right. The prayer of a righteous man, the effectual prayer, not that dry, non-spirited, autopilot. I'm just here. You want to be anointed? Come on, nigga. Let's anoint you. Who does that? Y'all ever see that from us? Who wants to be anointed? And then it's a whole lot of people wanting to be anointed. It's like, damn, all y'all niggas? Man, I ain't got time for it. Like, nobody's doing that. You want to be anointed? Come on up. Come on down, right? And we put our spirit into it. We put effectual fervency into it. But y'all would rather your mama and them pray for you. That old dry, oh Lord, repetitious prayer. It don't do nothing. That ain't availing a damn thing. That's why she's sick. Go to Psalms 107 in verse 19 and Ecclesiastes 38:9.
Psalm chapter 107, verse 19.
Go ahead.
Then they cry unto the Lord, in their trouble.
Right.
And he saved them out of their distress.
That was the point. See, you got to ask the Most High to save you. You have to go and say, Most High, Yahweh Shai, save me, fix me, heal me. But when you ask, what is he going to do? Pop out of heaven and touch you? Thou art healed, my son. What's he going to do? Hop out of his almighty throne and administer to you the Robitussin? What's he going to do? Hop out, shake up a bottle. Here goes that Tylenol you asked for. No, this was going to happen. Read.
Verse 20. He sent his word.
Wait, what did he do?
He sent his word.
So when you pray to the Most High to be healed, he does what?
He sent his word.
Right, meaning, hey brother, the scriptures say this. Read that. He that is weak eat the herbs. Hey sis, the scriptures say humble yourself before you be weak, before you be sick. Hey sis, the Bible says pride go before destruction. So when you ask for that healing, he does what?
He sent his word.
Because the Most High speak once, yea twice, but men perceive it not. Go ahead.
He sent his word and healed them.
And, go ahead.
And delivered them from their destruction.
Right. Because like the Bible says in Wisdom of Solomon chapter 9 and verse 18, it says, verse 17, and thy counsel who have known except thou give wisdom, and send the Holy Spirit from above. So is he sending ghosts and goblins to us? Or is he not sending the wisdom of the word?
Sending the wisdom.
For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed. So when you lived on the earth and you had to be reformed, it was through the word. And men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom. So when he said he sent the word and they were healed, Yahweh Shai is not going to pop through the clouds to hand you a Percocet because you got back pains or hand you a Robitussin. No, he's going to send the word in any form, shape, or way he determines it. So if it's rebuke them sharply because you got to get your stuff right, or if it's meek and mild because you got to get your stuff right, the word is going to come. Now, it's up to each and every man to grasp on. Ecclesiastes 38 and verse 9. Last scripture. And then we up out of here. We could go late. We ain't got class Friday, so y'all good?
Gone.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 38 verse 9.
Read.
My son, in thy sickness be not negligent.
Yeah, the Bible is telling you in your sickness, don't be negligent, man. Don't act like it's not there. Is any amongst you sick? Nah, I'm good. Nah, bro. I'm of sound mind. But I can see I'm like a pit bull. I can smell your fear. I can smell the doubt. Them demons on you stink. Them demons on you stink. Damn. Why she smell like that? That's that fear in her. That's that hate. That's that disrespect. That's that pride in her. Damn. She smells.
That pride.
She stinks. He stinks, man. That's that covetousness in him. That's that lust in him. I'm like a pit bull with it, man. Is any amongst you sick? Nah, we good. Anybody want to get anointed? Nah, we good. No one wants to get anointed in the name of Christ. Nah, I'm good. God, okay. So you ain't sick? Nope, I'm a whole lot. See, the Most High gave me the spirit of sound mind and not of fear. I'm good. Hey, brother, I need you to go. Well, why I gotta go? Well, I thought the Most High gave you the spirit of a sound mind. I thought you understood the mission. Why are you combating and going back and forth? Okay. Oh, babe, you all good? You ain't sick? Okay, well, I need you to be the example. Well, why I gotta do that? That ain't fear. Wait, I thought that you understood that that's what you were supposed. I thought you weren't sick.
Right.
Right? Well, obviously, if they had to ask the question, it's because there was some sick amongst us. The Bible says it. Read it one more time.
My son, in thy sickness be not negligent.
Yeah, don't be negligent. Don't act like you bleeding out. Like, yeah, I ain't bleeding. But nigga, you bleeding out right now. I'm looking at you like, you want us to sew that up? No, it's good. I'm Look, it don't even hurt. I don't even feel it. Yeah, because it's toxic, because it's sepsis. You don't feel it because you're about to die. You don't feel nothing. Them demons on, bro, you got pride on you. Y'all always say that. Because, nigga, you always got pride. That's why we always say it. We ain't just going to throw it out there just because. We say it because that's what you're dealing with. Don't be negligent in your sickness. Go ahead.
God. But pray unto the Most High.
Come on.
And He will make thee whole.
Read.
Leave off from sin and order thine hands aright.
Right, and this is what we got to do, man. We got to leave off from the sins that bring the sickness. Order your hands aright. Come on.
And cleanse thy heart from all wickedness.
And we got to cleanse our heart. We got to use psychic. What is it? How do you put that? Physics.
Psyche.
Physics. Purge yourself. Purge that mind from the filthiness, from the wickedness. It says it. Cleanse your heart from all wickedness. Cleanse your heart from all. You have to start here. I was gonna put it like, yeah, it's a good one. It just was redundant. Any questions? Y'all know it's all love, right? Con. No questions? Anything online? Just comments? All right. I mean, hopefully, man, you know, we put them together so that we hope that we help them. Hope that we can give you different perspectives on what y'all. But go ahead.
Or what is the proper protocol for a married woman to ask for guidance and counsel?
Yeah, she definitely wants to go to her husband. And, you know, see, again, be not negligent of your sicknesses or your shortcomings or anything. Now, what if the husband ain't got the tools to help? Right. What is he supposed to do?
Go to the elders.
He's supposed to go to the elders. Not every man is equipped. You got new brothers with new wives. If you're new and she's new, who's going to fix who? Yeah, she's supposed to exercise what the scriptures say. If a woman should learn, let her ask her husband at home first. Right? The scriptures do say that. But there's still nothing wrong with her learning accent in class with her husband's permission. If you don't want her to ask in class and he wants to ask on her behalf, it can go down that way. But the point being said that it has to be brought out. So if you're a married woman and you got some dealings and you know some issues, but you can go to your husband, go to your husband. But a lot of women can't go to their husband because their problem is their husband. So who are they gonna go to?
To the elders.
They have to go to the elder sisters and deal with that counsel. You know, and that's still with the permission of the husband. Some husbands don't want their wife counseling with sisters or brothers. Some men don't mind it. I know when my rib first came, I was like, y'all sisters light her up. get up in there. You know, if I needed, because if it was so, it never got detrimental where I needed Kazak or thought I wanted to step in and counsel, you know, but if it got to that point, trust me, I'd have been, the scriptures say go to the elders, meaning wear out the footsteps of them that are wise. I'd have been like, hey, my rib needs, but there was times, check this out though. See, this is why I love just our camp, because there was times where Kazak would have to give my rib a ride to work. You think he wasn't chipping into that brain? Hell yeah. He was chipping that brain apart, and then he would come back and be like, hey, I talked to your rib about da-da-da-da. I'm like, the water. I wasn't like, why are you talking to my wife? I'm like, bro, I can tell you how the water for the help. The next time you gotta take her somewhere, same thing.
Got you. Same exact thing.
Yeah, because it's all about getting everybody out of the sick mode and into the sound mind, sound body mode. All right, so hopefully that helps. The water. All right, so yeah, we're gonna end it there. Again, we won't be back here Friday. We'll be back on Saturday morning, Sabbath class. Okay, so we'll try to. I don't know what we're gonna do. Try to send some videos out on the Hangouts so y'all can see. Set up some prayers. Do it like that. If that's it, I know we took it over. Let's say shalom to everybody online. We'll see you here on Saturday. Shalom. The water, y'all.
The water, y'all.
All right, round the bar.
Oh yeah, I was in the Espiritu Santos.
It was the headband.
That when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth, and that the truth is the lie.
Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English